exciting is that for you, Coach, from Team Paul Mitchell, and seeing that today, how do we feel?
Well, of course, we're super proud of both Haley and Esteban. They're incredible martial arts athletes, and their ability to dominate those divisions was put on display this weekend. Esteban Tremblay, in addition to winning all those forms divisions, he also made a bit of sport karate history by joining what we call the Dub Dub Club. As in his extreme forms division, he executed a double full swing through into a double cork. And if you don't know what that is, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned because you're going to see tricks just like that in the show tonight. And Esteban Tremblay landed that in the eliminations. We actually had other athletes going for big moves this weekend as well. I got to give a shout out to Jonah Michel of Team AKA, who went for the same move, went for the dub-dub. Unfortunately, aggravated a knee injury that he suffered back at the AKA Warrior Cup, so we're wishing him a very speedy recovery. But huge moves coming out from both of those guys. And Esteban, you'll see tonight, the weapons final, which we'll get to in a little bit.
How exciting.
You know, Julie and Jackson, you think about, speaking from the fighter's perspective, when we would get ready and we would actually wait and see you guys go up and perform, it gets us hyped, especially as teammates. We're there in the back, we're warming up, we're wrapping our hands, you know, we're doing some shadow spark and everything, but we would always take the time to go to the stage to see one of your teammates. Going back in the day, I'll mention a guy, Jeff Doss. Looking at Jeff Doss as he got ready and get things ready, it would get me pumped up and ready for my fighting division. So it's you guys that would really help us get things going for a time like that.
And speaking of the legendary Jeff Doss, he will be gracing the stage against Mason Stoll. Now, Jeff Doss is
one of my favorites to watch ever since I was a little itty bitty for Korean forms. His kicks were the inspiration for my kicks, that stick and hold, beautiful technique, and then now going against the beautiful traditional Mason Stoll that is traveling the world with this Japanese form that is just a spectacle to see, and his strength, his ability, his timing, his punctuality to land his hands, feet, stances all at the same time is a beauty to watch. So we're gonna see Jeff Doss and Mason Stoll. It's gonna be fantastic. How do you guys feel about that coming up?
Well, it's always a compelling matchup between the Japanese stylist and the Korean stylist. And as we've watched over the years, it tends to be the Japanese stylists that have been dominant. But I've said on many broadcasts before, if there is to be any individual Korean martial artist who can overcome the Japanese stylists, it is Jeff Sushi Doss. With his accolades in this game, as long as he's been doing this, he is in the conversation for the greatest competitive Korean martial artist of all time. And so if somebody has a chance to do it, it's Jeff Doss, but he's got a tall task against Mason Stowell, who was dominant this weekend and truly has been dominant at the Battle of Atlanta for the last several years. He's won the Ultimate title, competing against all the other overall grand champions. He's a force to be reckoned with, and he's going to be very difficult to beat.
Well, this great thing about this is to see Mason as he came up through the juniors and everything. And by the way, it's been probably about a year since I've seen him in person. This guy just keeps getting bigger. He's stronger now. He's grown into that grown man's body. And the great thing about that is that you have that kind of contrast. Jeff Dawson is who he is. He's super flexible. He's got the tricky kicks and everything going on. But yet, as you mentioned, there is a tall hill to climb, but I think it's been a great competition between those two.
And speaking of a fantastic competition, we are going to see two lovely ladies take the stage with, again, a Jap versus Korean traditional form, which is honestly my favorite thing to watch. We've got Gabrielle Rudolph and Miss Lily McGuire. This is her hometown, so she's got this extra energy for her Korean form coming at her, but she's got the support, or Gabrielle has the support of her lovely teammates all here and her wonderful husband, so that's gonna be something to watch. Let's talk a little bit more about how and what we're expecting there.
Well, I'll speak for Gabrielle a little bit because I need to state my bias as her husband, but I hope she has a great performance tonight. It's going to be an awesome division up against Lily McGuire. We're going to talk about some more amazing matchups coming up right after the break.
Who's next?
There's always someone.
The one they call talented, gifted.
But talent isn't enough.
and it's never a gift.
The early risers.
The weekend warrior.
They're the first one in,
And they're the last one out.
the one that faces a challenge because they see opportunity.
Because they know the truth.
If you want it,
You have to take it.
so who's next?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Battle Zone Countdown. We are now just moments away from the prestigious Battle Zone Finals, where elite martial arts athletes are going to compete for some of the most coveted titles in this entire sport. And in that word from our sponsors and friends over at Century Martial Arts, you saw a few athletes that are going to be competing for some of my favorite titles in the weapons division. In that commercial, you saw Jake Presley, who has been absolutely dominant as a traditional bow competitor, but he has a tough test tonight against Dawson Holt, who has been very dominant over the bladed side of the traditional weapons category. So that is going to be an absolute slugfest between Jake Presley and Dawson Holt, both coming out of the same school, Premier Martial Arts Lebanon, and members of Team Paul Mitchell. On the ladies' side, in that advertisement, you saw Haley Glass, who can do it all. She does the CMX with her kamas and the traditional with her sword, a multi-talented athlete that could stack up multiple overall grand championships tonight. She's going to have some tough tests against the likes of competitors like Sarah Campbell of Team AKA, who brings a very difficult bow form to the mix. And the division that I may be most excited about, of course, it's between two bow guys, Ben Jones and Esteban Tremblay in the men's creative musical extreme weapons final is guaranteed to bring us some fireworks. Let's start with that one. Juliana, what are you most excited about in that matchup between two of the best bow competitors in the world?
Well, as a traditionalist, I'm excited to see strikes. No matter what division it is, whether it's extreme or creative or traditional, I'd love to see full extension and strikes. I know that's something that you, Jackson, are also very passionate about, that between all the other fancy flares, twists, and turns, there are still that martial arts technique, because that's what we are. We are martial artists, and we are going to exercise our discipline, even mixed it with creativity and innovative movement. How about you, Mallory?
Now, again, you don't want to see me working a bow here. I'm telling you honestly. But one of the things you can appreciate is the precision that these athletes do. Some of the things that I've seen that have gone on in that division, I didn't even think was possible with the bow. I mean, you're quite the originator for some of the stuff that we are seeing today. But I also want to turn it a little bit. I want to focus on Haley just for a second. I mean, is there anything she can't do? She graduated college. She's out there performing on the cruise ships. She's looking to get into stunts in the future. And by the way, watch out Hollywood for her coming along. I mean, she does everything at such a high level. How do you even prepare for that when you go up against someone, and that's your teammate?
Well, strategizing against Haley Glass is a really tough task because of how good she is and how many different angles she can come at you with her own strategy, whether she's got kamas in her hands or a sword. Haley is, like I said, a multi-talented athlete who can do it all, like you said, Mallory. And so she's going to put on a show for us tonight, and for any athlete, that's going to be a tough competitor to prepare for. But I think one thing that Juliana hit on that I really want to foot stomp here for the audience watching from home is that those foundational martial arts techniques are the primary scoring criteria for the judges. You're going to see some amazing tricks tonight, but flash is trash without the basics. If these athletes did not have excellent traditional martial arts technique, they wouldn't be able to qualify to compete on this stage. So as you're watching all the crazy tricks, try to appreciate some of those foundational skills, the stances, the strikes, the power, the intensity, and then a little bit of showmanship sprinkled on top. And speaking of those basics, there's no better display of the basics than the traditional weapons division, where we've got that Jake Presley and Dawson Holt showdown. Juliana, I know that you were a sword competitor, so what are you looking forward to from Dawson Holt in that matchup?
Oh my goodness, I am such a Dawson Holt fan. I was kind of phasing out as he was really taken over for Sword, but I remember just being mesmerized. Every time I could get a chance to watch him, he was a source of inspiration for me. So I'm excited to see how he's innovated within that traditional sword form, because you still are going to see some beautiful, long, lengthy slices with beautiful point A to point B direct cuts, but you're gonna see showmanship, just like you said. So I'm really excited to see how he innovates traditional.
And his competitor this evening, of course, is Jake Presley, who virtually every time he steps on the mat has been winning these traditional weapons overall grand championships, and he's got the stats to back it up. A 7-time Warrior Cup champion. That is the second most all-time, behind none other than Ross Levine, who we just saw with an amazing career-ending knockout at Karate Combat. And if you're second on a list with Ross Levine on it, that must mean that you're pretty good, right, Mallory?
It's definitely a good list to be on. And, you know, thinking about Jake Presley, you got the last name Presley. We've seen the excellence to come on with, you know, his brothers and his sister before. But Dawson Holt's Mr. Clean. I mean, I'll tell you who I don't want to be. I don't want to be any of the judges who have to decide between these two gentlemen right there, because that's going to be the hardest task in the room, to decide for the excellence that you'll see in that division that will come up. I don't know how you pick a winner.
Well, I'm not going to pick a winner because I like them both, but another very interesting set of divisions that we have to look forward to while we're talking about the weapons category is we're also going to see some synchronized weapons performances this evening. Team Showtime, the sibling duo of Cody and Michael Molina, they were the winners of the traditional synchronized weapons division, and they will be competing against a couple of Forms athletes in Gabriel Rudolph and Samuel Diaz III of Team Paul Mitchell in the traditional synchronized grand championship. Meanwhile, Ben Jones and Esteban Tremblay, who we already talked about, are going to compete against each other for the CMX weapons title. They team up and do synchronized together. They already won that division, and they will be not competing against anybody tonight, because on the other side was Ben Jones and Dawson Holt winning the Forms division. And when you got one guy that plays for both teams, they're just going to go up there and give us a demonstration.
That is so exciting when you've rounded it up with your best friends and you get the chance to go out on that stage, do what you love with a little less pressure. You just get to do a demo and show off, have fun. It's such a beautiful experience, and I'm so excited for those boys, because not only are they hardworking, respectful, and very disciplined, they've been at this consistently for so long, they've earned it. Of anybody, they've earned it.
Absolutely. And for anybody that's just tuning into this stream for the first time, you've never seen sport martial arts before in your life. So you're like, who are these people that you guys are talking about? They sound pretty good. You should start by picking what your favorite weapon is. Think about your favorite action movies. The sword, the kamas, those little sickle things, as the layman might call them. The nunchucks, as made famous by Bruce Lee, or I would say made famous by Matt Emig, but I'm a sport karate guy. Or my weapon of choice, the bow. And even we've seen innovations of that. We've seen people doing kamas and chucks together. We've seen people doing double bow. There might be a double bow demonstration in store for this evening from one of the innovators of that weapon. And I just hear a what in the background from Reed Presley, who is our public address announcer, and might put on just a little show for us. So if you've never heard of these athletes before, pick your favorite weapon. And if you don't know what the weapons are, pick your favorite Ninja Turtle. If you like sword, you're gonna like Leonardo. If you're a bow guy like me, you're gonna like Donatello. Mallory and Julia, do you guys have any favorite Ninja Turtles?
Hey, you got to go with Ralph. Ralph with the size, he's got the attitude. You know, that's what you got to go with.
I'm a Leonardo girl all day, every day. I think we just addressed my love, my affinity to the sword. So yeah, I'm gonna say Leonardo all day, every day.
And those are respectable choices, even though Donatello is obviously the best of the Ninja Turtles. But that's a great segue to talk about how within the sport karate community, one of the best avenues for these athletes to go on to after they're done competing is the Hollywood stunts industry. And in recent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle films, including Marvel, DC Comics, and all of these other franchises as well, you've seen past sport karate champions in those roles. And with that, we're going to toss it to a word from our sponsors, but you stay right there because we've got more exciting sport karate action coming right up.
Welcome back to Battle Zone 2024. Of course, we've talked about weapons, we've talked about sparring, we've talked about weapons and forms. Now it's time to talk about fighting. We've got an incredible lineup of fights ready here for the Battle of Atlanta. Of course, we've got the team matchup between Team Paul Mitchell versus Straight Up. Jackson, I've got a question directly for you. Bailey Murphy is not here for Team Straight Up. How do you feel that big hole to take on? How do you feel that role?
Well, anytime that you're missing one of the top fighters in the world in Bailey Murphy, you're going to have to go through some strategic adjustments. But we always know that Joe Greenhall is going to have a trick up his sleeve. And this weekend, it was recruiting Tyson Ray to join Brandon Ballou and Diego Gomez to make up a killer straight-up team. But they've got a tall task in front of them going up against my very own Team Paul Mitchell, Cameron Ali, Darren X, Alex Mancias. And it should be noted, if we're going to talk about straight up not having Bailey Murphy, Paul Mitchell doesn't have Devin Hopper, who's a huge part of our team as well. But I believe that our three boys who are here can hold it down.
That is true. And you know, speaking of this, Juliana, your husband used to fight for Team John Paul Mitchell. Were you ever nervous on the sidelines when he went to go into the ring?
That was some of the most anxiety-inducing moments of my life, especially when we would travel around the world with Team Paul Mitchell. You go to these other countries and you don't know what you're getting into. So when Justin Ortiz, my husband, is on stage fighting, I can't tell you the shivers. I am shaking on the side of the stage, banging on it. I'm the loudest person in the room, but I love being there for him. So it's anxiety-inducing, but it's a beautiful experience.
Now, of course, you mentioned before Darren X, who takes on a very game Avery Plowden in the heavyweight division for the fights that will be coming later on. I got a chance to catch some of the finals between Cameron Ali and Avery Plowden, the Matt Murdock, the attorney at law, of course, and it was a close match. It came down to the last point. Jackson, of course, you're familiar. You're rooting for the JPM guy. We're going to be honest, but you've got a well and game super fighter on the other end of the bracket in Avery. How do you see that fight going down?
Well, Avery Plowden, excuse me. Avery Presley is phenomenal too, but we're talking about Avery Plowden right now. Avery Plowden is undeniably one of the best fighters in the world. He's proven it time and time again. And I don't just say one of the best heavyweights. I say one of the best fighters, period. And that's what he's proven over the course of his career. Multiple titles here at the Battle of Atlanta, the AKA Warrior Cup, you name the tournament. As far as the North American Sport Karate Association goes, Avery Plowden has been there and done that. And so he's going to be a threat against a guy like Darren X. But Darren X, I love watching this guy's fighting style. He's got a great old school smoothness to him in the way that he fights. His ridge hand is lethal. He's got a great defensive sidekick, and I'm really excited to see Darren X put his skills to the test against a fighter like Avery Plowden.
Now, I love watching these boys fight because they have so much experience, both of them. I know Darren is younger, but Avery's experience comes through time and time again. We've seen him fight against just about anybody in the game, and he adjusts, he adapts. And Darren, he's showing to do the same. He's gotten enough experience with enough fighters that he's adapting. When he gets in front of somebody, he moves and he grooves according to who's in front of him. It's a great matchup. I'm excited.
And that's what they say about great fighters, Mallory. The best fighters make the best adjustments, right?
You're absolutely right. You have a limited time. If you think about it, you have 2 minutes or the max points available to figure out the puzzle that's in front of you. And speaking of that, both Tyson Ray and Enrique Latona have puzzles of their own to figure out for our lightweight championship. These two young men have faced each other all through their junior careers, and they've seen each other in their adult careers. It's going to be a highlight show of lightweight. So if you like fast action, great moves, great counters, watch out for those lethal kicks for Enrique, but watch out for the incredible movement that Tyson Ray inherited from his father, Jesse Ray. There are angles there that you couldn't chart out if you were a John McGingras. What do you say to that, Tyson?
Well, I mean, the matchup between Enrique Latona and Tyson Ray is absolutely electric. This is an undeniable matchup between two superstars. Enrique Latona was on my podcast just this morning, and I asked him, Enrique, what's it going to take for you to win the lightweight overall today? His answer, I'm going to win. He didn't go into any details about what it's going to take. He said, I know I'm going to win. There was no doubt in his mind that he was going to come into this tournament, make his way through the lightweights, and come out El Rey, his nickname. He wants to be on top. He wants to be the king of the lightweights.
Well, of course, we've been talking about the men, but Jackson, help me out. Let's set the table for the ladies that we'll see tonight.
Well, the ladies' event is going to be fantastic. We've got to check our records once we get back to the booth and make sure we've got all of our matchups right. But I know on the Paul Mitchell side, Katarina Herman, Kitana Everett were tearing their way through the divisions. I believe that is the matchup that we're going to get in the finals. We will confirm that once we're in the booth. But those two ladies, very, very different fighting styles, both very exciting. Katarina Herman, an expert kicker. Kitana Everett, an expert at movement. And when you put those two things together, it makes for a very compelling matchup.
And not only that, but these two ladies are such hard workers. They will go through a full day of work and whatever else they got to do, and you will see them working, even if it's at midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, working their movement, working their kicks, and they are just both electric. Now, for the people at home that have not seen much point fighting, what you are going to see is very high energy, skilled fighting. So with these ladies, I want you guys to look for that movement that opens them up to come in and score either with hands, or for Katarina, she's going to be looking for any open spot where she can stick her leg and get a 2 points.
You know, one of the things that we heard from Katarina last night is that she says she has a notebook that she brings with her. That's the first time I've actually ever heard someone say that, but someone that takes notes and logs not only the wins but the losses is definitely someone that's going to be a formidable opponent at the other end of the ring, because these wins and losses fade as you leave, as you go back home and you get your daily routine. But if she's checking notes and going back and looking every time, trying to correct those mistakes, that's just going to make her better and better. But on the other side of that, and of course, we have to check our records. If we're talking about Kitana, we're talking about someone who is the queen of movement.
Absolutely. Kitana is an absolute expert of movement. And I think it's important for those of you that are tuning into Sport Karate for the very first time, as I hope we have a whole bunch of those tuning in on the stream tonight. If you are brand new to the sport martial arts community, make sure you drop some comments and hit that share button. Let everybody know about this new sport that you've discovered. But one thing that's really important to understand when you see these point fighters on stage is exactly what you're looking at. Point fighting is a game of speed and technique. It is all about whichever fighter can land a clean technique first. The scoring is 1 point for hand techniques, 2 points for kicking techniques, unless that kicking technique is a jump spinning kick to the head, which Mallory and Juliana, I really hope we see a 3-point jump spinning kick to the head tonight, or even a couple of them.
And you know what? If there is going to be a jump spin kick landed to the head, it would be here on the stage at the Battle Zone, because we are at the hot and ready Battle of Atlanta 2024. Now, I can hear the crowd buzzing behind us. You can feel the energy in the room. Listen to them cheer. Listen to them go. I don't even need to share my mic with them because they are having so much fun back there. You hear them, and the energy is contagious. Are you guys feeling it?
Yes, indeed. And you feel the energy building in the room. The Battle of Atlanta always brings that excitement for the tight show.
Absolutely. I mean, this is one of the premier events in the entire entire world for sport martial arts, whether it's forms, weapons, fighting. These are some of the best doing it in the world today. And so if you're tuning in right now, you better stay right here and keep watching this stream, because the variety of talent that you will see in the show tonight is absolutely amazing.
What you're about to see is some of the most spectacular culmination of years and years of dedication, hard work, and now we are going to see who brings home the success at home. If you are on your computer or on your phone, drop comments, show us your excitement, because the crowd is about to show you one more time how excited they are. Crowd, give it to them at home. Because we're not only going to see some really awesome competition, but we're going to see some great showcasing, some awesome fun teasers, interviews, and even some really funny video packages that we've got prepared for you guys. Stick around. You guys don't want to miss this. And if you're in the crowd, we've got some goodies coming.
Well, the time for talk is over. It's time to throw it to the stage for the Battle of Atlanta 2024.
It's about time to get started, and I just have one big question for you. Are you ready for the Battle of Atlanta Battle Zone? Let's make some noise. If you guys get loud, you guys are getting t-shirts. Let's get some shirts going. Let's get them going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get this started. Are you guys ready? Welcome to the Battle of Atlanta.
One of the most prestigious nighttime finals in all of sport karate.
It is going to be unstoppable on stage this evening.
Welcome to the Battle of Atlanta, the Battle Zone. How is everyone doing tonight? Now, I would say that was like a level 8 out of 10. Once again, how are you guys doing tonight? Now, that is much better. You guys have heard it already, but you guys are in for a treat as we are going to be bringing to the stage all of the world's best talent to compete and make sure you guys have a fantastic evening. Now, I am your host, Reed Gressley, and I am joined by a fantastic team to help you guys all have a lovely evening. Running all of the interviews is going to be none other than Miss gotta make some noise, Miss Anna Glenn. Now, making sure you guys are able to stay up to date and at home, you have none other than Mallory Woods and Jackson Rudolph on the commentary booth and on-air commentary. And then now, you also are gonna have Juliana Ramos running around. You don't know where she's gonna pop up, but anytime you see her, make sure you make some noise because she's gonna have some great information and a lot of prizes and t-shirts that you guys will definitely want. So let's make some noise for Juliana Ramos. All right, now, to get things started, we have to do something that is super special for our country. So coming to the stage is going to be a world champion martial artist, Team Paul Mitchell member, who normally graces the stage with her traditional kata, but tonight she is also going to be singing our national anthem. Please welcome Gabrielle Rudolph. And let's go ahead and all stand and remove your caps for the national anthem. Thank you, Miss Rudolph. Now, are you guys ready to see a fight? I said, are you guys ready to see a fight? All right, so the first division coming to the stage is going to be the NASCA 18 and over Women's Overall Grand Championship. So let's please welcome our fighters, Katie Herman and Katana Everett. Both of these fighters are representing Team Paul Mitchell, so you guys are in for a treat.
And welcome once again for all tuning in from around the world to the Battle of Atlanta Battle Zone Championships. I'm Jackson Rudolph alongside the amazing Mallory Woods, and we have our first event of the evening, a thriller between two Team Paul Mitchell members, Katarina Herman in the black helmet, Kitana Everett in the red helmet. Mallory, this one's gonna be a good one.
It is definitely gonna be a fight to look forward to, and you know what? The Battle of Atlanta ain't messing around. We're starting off with the ladies fighting right away. We're not making you wait for it. It's here, and here we go.
A fantastic stylistic matchup between these two. Herman the kicker, Everett looking to move around the outside, can use the kicks as well, and really wants to blitz.
In this matchup right here, Katarina obviously is the taller fighter. You see she's using that lead leg to kind of push around Katana, but Katana can do a lot of counter kicks, and also she has great flexibility herself, as demonstrated right there. So just because you're the taller, more flexible fighter doesn't mean that you have a distinct advantage right away.
For those of you just tuning in, point fighting is a game of speed. It is the first athlete to land a technique clean. 1 point for head techniques, 2 points for kicks. We almost saw one there as Kitana attempted the jump spinning kick, and 3 points for a jump spinning kick to the head. No confirmation there. You need the majority of judges, 2 out of 3 to confirm the call.
So one of the things I see right here for Katana is she needs to maybe give Katarina a fake and take an angle. The question is which side to go to. Most people say traditionally go to Katarina's back. That means she would be heading off to the right as you see them right now from our view. But she could also go off angle to the left, and you see just a little delay right there, and she throws a kick. The judges did score that. It's a 2-point kick.
Actually, it looks like one of the judges scored a hand technique, so with one judge is calling 2 points and one judge calling 1 point, that is 1 point for Everett by rule.
And by the way, if you just saw that incredible display of balance by Katana, that's because if she intentionally goes out, it's an automatic point. So she stayed in bounds and was able to get another hand technique, 2-0.
Herman able to answer back with some hands of her own. 2-1 Everett.
If you notice that the tone of this fight has really changed. Katarina was coming out with machine gun kicks, barrages of kicks right away, but now it's a little bit more in the strategy zone, as you can see.
10 seconds remaining, scores 2-1.
No calls on that last exchange as Herman attempted to blitz. Everett had a nice answer with a defensive side kick, but it didn't get extended. And Herman evens the score with those hand techniques going into the second round. Mallory, what are your big takeaways from that first round?
If you really watch that first round, it's a tale of, and it's interesting, both ladies are electing to not sit on chairs. They're going to stand for the entire 1 minute rest period. But Katana slowed that down. As you start to get nervous and the first time you kind of clash or exchange leather in the middle of that ring, you're excited and everything, but I like how she slowed the fight down. A slower fight benefits her versus one that's faster, as we saw last night. Trying to score points on Katie in that quick win can be deadly to you.
You hear that roar from the crowd. Katana Everett, a resident of Georgia. She is the hometown favorite here, despite these ladies being teammates. Canada represent. Those are some decent roars for Katie Herman.
Hey, the Canadians always bring it, man. I don't care where, if you're in Ireland, Germany, England, the United States, Mexico, and most importantly in Canada, they always bring it. They travel deep and they are loud.
We get set to begin the second and final round.
Looks like we're ready to start the second round. Once again, it is tied 2-2.
No discussion by the judges before we begin that second round. We got 2 minutes on the clock, as Mr. Presley mentioned, knotted up at 2-2. Let's see what adjustments both fighters. You notice there's not a coach on the stage. Coach Damon Gilbert is letting these ladies work this out between themselves.
Katana Everett trying to get the kicks going early. Now going to that lateral movement around the outside.
Both ladies elected to use those left-legged kicks, and if you're one for my book, I say switch to the right side. But you know, your preference right there.
And look at that balance from Everett just a few moments ago as she moves around the outside, throwing spin kicks.
Indeed.
And that is 1 point for Herman as Everett did step out of bounds there. Out of bounds is where the blue becomes red. Defensive side kick for Herman connects for 2.
Now here's the problem right now. You're down in 3-point hole, and you've got about 1 minute 30 seconds, less than that to go. So you have to work your way in and get points without giving up any others. So Katana's going to look match movement right there. Notice the footwork as she's shading Katie, and she's waiting for a blitz, and there it is.
Answer for Everett. Important to know, time is going to be a big factor in this matchup. The clock that you see at home is not the official clock. There may be a few seconds off, so even if there's all zeros, these ladies might still have a few more moments to try to sneak a point in there.
And as always, you fight till they say time and pull you off that great body punch. Notice again, by slowing down the action, it gives Katana a little bit of an advantage.
Katana able to even it up. Weathers the storm from down 3, goes on a 3-0 run of her own, and we are knotted at 5.
She's got to watch out for the edge, though. Using that great balance and that speed, she's going to get back and reset. And then there's the body punch. Great timing.
Beautiful by Everett. As soon as Herman put that leg down, she exploded with
and another body punch off the angle.
Oh, head kick. Everett doesn't quite get there.
You know kicks are coming. Kicks. Oh, spin kick to the top.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely amazing. Wow.
Katana Everett with an exclamation point. Here in Atlanta, a spinning hook to a win.
I don't know about you, Jackson. I think that's going to be a clip of a highlight for next year.
This award is none other than Christine Rodriguez, promoter of
right after that exchange happened, a smile on the face of Katarina Herman, even in defeat, congratulating her teammate.
Exactly.
Proud of Katana's effort. And Katana certainly pleasing the crowd here in Atlanta.
That's the way you start a show.
Let's give it up for both
On the
these
edge of my
fighters
seat
one more
already,
time.
Mallory.
It's gonna be a long show night if everything's like this, man.
Excellent, excellent job. And now we're going to be cutting to a commercial.
Again, we are streaming on social media, so be sure you're sharing the stream and sharing your thoughts in the comments.
All right, what'd you guys think of that fight? I thought that was pretty awesome. We're gonna keep that energy moving by going right into some forms competition. Are you guys ready for some forms? All right, so we're gonna be moving on to the 13 and under NASCA Overall Grand Championship Girls Forms. And I think this young lady has already won both of the overalls, which means it's gonna be her versus herself. Please welcome Amanda Duarte.
Our public address announcer Reed Presley, just tell the audience this is Amanda Duarte, the winner of both the CMX, that stands for Creative Musical Extreme, and Traditional Grand Championships. On the North American Sport Karate Association World Tour, you must work your way through elimination rounds and divisions, where amongst the juniors, you then compete against a broader age category in the Divisional Grand Championship, and then those two Divisional Grand Championships compete against one another. Duarte, the winner of both of those championships, just do a demonstration for us here tonight.
I guess the hardest decision she had was what fork to do.
A smile on her face as she lands clean on the back handspring flash kick. In extreme martial arts, you will see a balance of these traditional techniques, strikes, and stances, as well as the acrobatic kicking skills. Duarte, hailing from New Jersey, is a member of Team Revolution. One-handed cartwheel into the elbow, cartwheel, and then a back walkover. Some creativity on the tricking from Amanda Duarte. Very strong demonstration performance from Amanda Duarte thus far. And then holds that leg, showing off the balance and flexibility, dropping into the splits. And Amanda Duarte keeping this crowd going.
Duarte!
You know, in honor of tomorrow's Father's Day, it was good to see her in the Northeast.
Now,
I can't remember which
since
tournament
she's
it was at, but
already
to see her
won,
and her dad traveling together
coming to
and
the
enjoying
stage
this
to
tournament
present
experience.
her award is going to be Nick Smith and Holly Haggard, promoters of the Cowboy Up September 2025.
To travel the sport karate circuit, it really does take a village.
Now, if you guys don't know this already, if you win
so
an
much
overall
to their moms and
there,
dads and
you get a Cowboy
instructors and
hat,
other
you
family
have to
members
do
and
a
friends
two-step.
for making it possible for them to travel the country and go to all these events, chase the points, and become world champions.
And you know, as you mentioned, it does take a village. A lot of times you'll see competitors, other parents, taking care of someone that directly competes with their son or daughter. It is really a big community, hoping for the best for all these young
Now, we're
athletes.
going to be moving right along into the 14 to 17. 14 to 17 weapons overall grand championship.
Now, while we're watching these forms and weapons, I would absolutely love to hear you guys cheer when you see something you like. If you are a competitor, you know how hard it is to pull
keep that stamina from beginning to end. So if you see something you like, I want to hear you guys cheer.
Coming to the stage is going to be the 14-17 Weapons Overall Grand Championship, and we're going to be starting with the boys this evening. So let's welcome Nolan Grunwald coming to the stage.
On track with the 14-17 Boys Weapons Overall Grand Championship, a battle between traditional and extreme martial arts. First on stage, Nolan Grunwald, representing Team Infinity, with his traditional bow form. Grunwald known for his speed and intensity with this routine.
For those of us that maybe be tuning in for this for the first time, could you give a little breakdown as traditional versus extreme?
Absolutely. So in these traditional performances, particularly in weapons, you're actually going to see a pretty similar pace to the extreme. These athletes, particularly with bow, are going to be striking very, very fast, just like you see in the extreme athletes in the weapons division. Forms, as we'll get to in a little bit, is a bit different. But the main difference is that in traditional weapons, regardless of the speed, you are only executing foundational techniques, as we see a flurry of strikes here early from Nolan Grunwald, whereas his extreme counterpart is going to be mixing in tricks and acrobatics. Nolan Grunwald defending a title from the Battle of Atlanta last year. He won the traditional weapons divisional title last year to make a stage appearance. He repeats as a finalist here tonight. Great shot of that trademark intensity for Nolan Grunwald. One more strong ki showing that intensity and passion for Nolan Grunwald, setting the bar high in his first weapons division of the evening.
Really clean performance there, just very intense, but very clean.
Look at the swagger in his shoulders as he backs off the stage. He liked that.
What would you be feeling right there when you know you absolutely nailed it when you walk back? When you've done that before, you know like your next opponent's got to, beat that.
There's nothing like it, Mallory. You've already walked the walk, so you might as well strut while you're at it.
Can I get a woo for Ric Flair?
Now on stage, representing Team Competitive Edge, we have Jackson Hensley in his extreme kama form. Hensley was overcome with emotion when he won the semifinals earlier to qualify for this event. He wants to capitalize on this opportunity with a huge double full to start his form. That is a backflip with 2 twists, ladies and gentlemen. Go. Lots of high-speed kama cuts right into the releases. So far, so good for Jackson Hensley. Little backdoor catch, and now time for some tricking. Touchdown raise, pop flash, into the full. Hensley slicing and dicing his way through this performance. Little finger roll combination, now rolling one kama on the other, huge save on the release. Spins one kama on the other, blind catch, that was a wild sequence. Double release, another double release, and another double release. That's a triple double, and then a double spin catch at the end for Jackson Hensley, who gets this crowd pumped up in Atlanta.
Well, as I mentioned in the pre-show, the hardest job tonight is going to be with our judges in front of us to decide between these great athletes.
So we're going to be bringing another division to the stage before the judges go to scoring. And the big thing for the judges to be thinking about that's going to determine the outcome for those 2 gentlemen, do they consider that save that was made from Jackson Hensley, is that something that counts against his score?
Right.
Or do they think that he maintained enough control during that release that it's not going to take away from his score? That could be the difference maker.
that is a nice little peek inside the head of what these judges might be considering.
So we transition to the 14 to 17 girls weapons category. Again, this is a new division. We will do scoring afterwards. Now on stage, Avery Presley of Team Paul Mitchell with her extreme bow form. Avery Presley, known for her speed, lightning fast with that green bow as she gets this form started. Signature 540 kick right into the knee spin, executed beautifully. Another nice release combo for Avery Presley. Of course, bearing that last name comes from a long line of sport karate champions, all of which her older brothers, Reed, Cole, and Jake. Another signature move for Avery is that blind catch as she tosses it back. 540 catch behind the back, and Avery Presley with another form to keep this crowd electric as the evening moves on.
And as you mentioned before, you've got 3 older siblings that have gone before you. I think that gives you a distinct advantage, especially when training at home. You have access to all that knowledge and skill to lean into to make yourself better.
Now on stage, Sofia Rodriguez Flores representing Team Infinity. This rivalry has been one of the best in the sport in recent years between Avery and Sofia. Sofia very frequently representing the traditionalists, and Avery, of course, the extreme martial artists.
You know, speaking of rivalry for competitors, a lot of people will think, oh, don't you get tired of competing against one person or the other? And I would say different, because if you have a rival that you know that if you train 3 days out of the week and you know they're training 4, that's going to drive you to train 5 days out of the week. It's going to push you further.
And often in this game, it does come down to these dynamic duos, these head-to-head matchups that everybody wants to follow from tournament to tournament and see who wins each round. Rodriguez Flores off to a strong start here, looking to demonstrate a combination of power and grace with this traditional bow form. And that's one of the things that makes this so difficult for the judges in the junior divisions. In the adult divisions, everything is split. You're not going to see traditional competing against the extreme. But in the junior divisions, in order to keep it as an overall grand championship, to pit these great athletes against each other, they do, as we're seeing right now. And it's so difficult for the judges to balance one competitor on the traditional side, their pacing, the power, the technique, and then contrasting that with the difficulty and performance value of an extreme routine.
You know, and no one's hoping for this, but in a way, the judges are almost looking for, like, if you make a mistake, that makes it easier for them to score. When everybody is this clean and this, you know, almost close to perfect, it really makes it razor thin.
And a strong performance from Sofia Rodriguez Flores. That is going to be another difficult decision for the judges between those athletes. Another chapter in that rivalry will be written.
Back to the stage for scoring, and we'll be starting with the boys.
Here we pass it off to Reed Presley, our public address announcer, to deliver these scores. Again, the boys and girls separate. This is the 14 to 17 boys overall grand championship scored first.
Judges score 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, and 9.98 for Mr. Nolan Grunwald. And scores for Jackson Hensley. Judges score 9.99, 9.99, 99, 99, 99, 99, and 99, making your winner of the 14 to 17 Weapons Overall Grand Championship Boys, Jackson Hensley.
If you watch Jackson's face while the scores for his first opponent was being read out, you could see the emotion building as he realized he had just won it.
Avery Presley. Judges score 9.99, 9.99, 9.99, 9.99, 9.99, 9.98, and 9.99 for Avery Presley. And the scores for Sofia Rodriguez Flores. Judges call 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.99, and 9.98 for Sofia Rodriguez Flores, making your winner of the 14-17 NASCA Overall Grand Championship Weapons Girls, Avery Presley.
So with that, we have two
presenting
extreme
the
martial
award.
artists as overall grand champions here early in the evening.
The battle between traditional and extreme has started for the Battle of Atlanta.
We see the award presentation from Jim Haymore, promoter of the North Georgia Open. And a championship ring for the winners as well. That's a nice touch.
Yeah, it is.
So your champions for those first couple of divisions, Jackson Hensley and Avery Presley.
Let's give it up for these competitors one more time. Now, I have to admit, I got ahead of myself from the last division going into the 14-17 because I was just a little excited to see them compete. So, we are going back to the 13 and under NASCA Overall Forms Grand Championship Boys, where you are going to have Aiden Ramirez versus Javen Jones. First up, we're gonna have Mr. Ramirez.
So we have Aiden Ramirez taking the stage first. You can see on his left chest that Team Diamond G3 patch.
Been seeing a lot of those guys get, top spots this weekend.
Damian Rodriguez and company doing a great job with that Team Diamond G3. This is not the last time we will see their athletes on stage
Definitely
tonight.
not. Definitely.
Aiden Ramirez, a relatively new face to the nighttime show on the NASCA World Tour. I believe we saw him also at the Pan American Internationals not too long ago.
Well, the great thing about if you're new to the stage, it's a good time to impress.
And if you've been tuning in from the beginning of this broadcast, we talked about how in traditional weapons, there really isn't much of a pacing change between the traditional weapons and the extreme weapons. But in forms, there is a significant pacing change. Traditional forms are going to be a much slower pace, focused on trying to demonstrate excellent technique, power, and also purpose within that pacing. They're not just going slow for the sake of going slow. They're going slow because that is the way that these katas, for the Japanese forms, kata being the word for them, that is the way that they were intended to be performed, allowing the athletes to show off leg strength in the stances as we're seeing right now, as well as the power and intensity behind every strike.
You know, in a way, actually going faster might be easier because you don't have to sink so deep into the stances. You don't have to hold the stance as long. But when you're doing this, your breath control, your breathing, all of that has to be focused.
And that was a nasty kick he just threw. You could hear the contact as he kicked his own hand, simulating as if he was grabbing an opponent and then kicking them. But the slap you heard on that kick, so much power.
Yeah, that opponent's no longer with us.
Bring the kata of Aiden Ramirez to a close. A great way to start this 13 under boys forms overall grand championship.
competitor coming to the stage is going to be Javen Jones.
And now her next competitor gets the crowd hyped up. He has a huge cheering section off to the side. This is Javen Jones, who burst out onto the scene at the Compete Internationals earlier this season with a stage appearance. He is hunting for an overall grand championship tonight. A natural performer, huh, Mallory?
Yeah, I mean, you look, the kid's got swagger. You said 13 and under?
13 and under. And a double cork.
Clean.
Oh my goodness, that's a backflip with 2 twists taking off of 1 foot. You almost never see that in athletes this young. Up, up, and away. Here comes some more tricking. Side swipe, touchdown raise, cork, swing cork. An insane level of difficulty from Javen Jones. Oh, and then he takes a tumble on that last tricking combo. With high risks, you suffer the consequences sometimes. I mean, he's going big or going home, and unfortunately does not get all the way through on that full twist, but gives us one more excellent example of his tricking skills with that Webster, and then a respectful bow at the end.
That he went for it.
So you gotta love an athlete that's willing to come out here and take the risk.
Absolutely. You know, that's only going to push these young athletes further.
All right, let's have
So the scoring will be a formality here. Aiden Ramirez likely to be named our champion. We will hand it off to Reed Presley for the scores.
For scoring is going to be Aiden Ramirez. Judges call 9.99, 9.99, 9.99, 9.99, 9.99, 9.99, and 9.99 for Aiden Ramirez. And now scoring for Mr. Javen Jones. 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, and 9.98 for Javen Jones. Making your winner of the 13 and under NASCA Overall Grand Championship Boys Forms, Aiden Ramirez. And presenting the award once again is going to be Nick Smith and Holly Haggard. They might dance for you this time. You don't know.
You know, one thing that we actually have to consider with these younger athletes is that as you have your adult competitors out there, obviously you've got the experience for performing, but these junior athletes are still growing. The challenge that you may be 2 inches taller the next time you compete, and your limbs are a little bit longer, is something they have to deal with.
Overall Grand Championship Black Belt Men's Division. Now you guys are in for a treat because you guys are going to see Dawson Holt versus Jake Presley versus Brett Thompson. So let's make some noise for all of these 3 competitors.
So we transition
Up first, it's looking like you have Mr. Clean, Dawson Holt.
Gave Reed Presley a second to finish his spiel there, but we now transition to the adult men's traditional weapons overall grand championship. Dawson Holt first on stage. If you were with us for the Battle Zone Countdown, we previewed the matchup between Dawson Holt and Jake Presley. And we also want to give some respect to Brett Thomason coming out of the Chinese weapons division, who is also going to be in this finals tonight. Dawson Holt, AKA Mr. Clean, widely regarded as the top sword competitor in the sport today. A member of Team Paul Mitchell. Dawson has recently revamped this form, changed the pacing, a lot more suspense, and with that comes more intensity and some explosions as we are seeing here in this opening cut combination. And Mallory, he got every single one of those invisible ninjas right there.
Once again, those guys have gone to the upstairs rooms. They never stood a chance in that combination right there.
And one thing that's unique for a sword competitor is how much power he brings to this weapon. Sword, most often known as a weapon of finesse and cleanliness, because you don't need to bring that much power in order to cut with a sharp sword. But Dawson brings this extra energy to it that really makes it special to watch. And talking about extra energy, how about that side kick?
Yeah, you were expecting the blade and you got the foot.
I don't think either one would be welcome.
No, but you know what? The foot guy, he might still be lingering around here. He can deliver the message to not mess with Dawson Holt anymore.
One more flurry of cuts for Dawson Holt. Manipulation of the sword between the fingers.
Let's give it up for Dawson Holt.
A beautiful
And the
sword
next
form
competitor
from
coming
Dawson
to
Holt.
the stage is going to be Jake Wildcard Presley.
Now coming to the stage, Jake Presley, dominant in the men's non-bladed traditional weapons division. So dominant, in fact, that he has not even been traveling the NASCO World Tour this year. He competed back at the AK Warrior Cup in January, won the prestigious Warrior Cup title, his 7th, and then has been inactive until now in June at the Battle of Atlanta and showing up and able to beat talent that has been putting themselves out there throughout all of those months in the interim.
That's just amazing that you can, miss one or two competitions and step right back into a huge competition such as the Battle of Atlanta and still find yourself on the stage.
And since he wasn't traveling the World Tour, winning from a non-seeded position. Athletes that travel the World Tour consistently have an opportunity to earn seeds so that they can go in the last 4 places in their division, ideally giving them an advantage in the subjective eyes of the judges. Jake went 4th out of 16 competitors in the elimination round and came out on top. One of the things that makes a good traditional bow form so special is being able to hear that bow pop.
Now, I've always wondered, does the bow hurt when you hit it like that against your body?
At first, yes, and then you get used to it. It's all about building up the endurance. So anytime you strike with a bow, as Jake lands a huge jump spinning stab there. Anytime you strike with the bow, there's going to be a bit of residual impact that comes on the other end of the weapon and hits your own body, but you develop a tolerance to that impact, and the amount of force that you're putting on the end of the bow is much greater than that that's coming back on you. Going right from a striking combo into a swing there for Jake. A little new addition to the choreography of this form. And one more powerful sequence from Jake Presley, and that brings his form to a close. A very compelling matchup here between Jake Presley and Dawson Holt, but that does not tell the whole story. Next, we have the Chinese weapons performance of Brett Thomason.
Thompson!
Now, if this is your first martial arts competition you've watched, this competitor will look distinctively different from what you've seen before.
And that's one of the great things about sport martial arts competition is that this is a blend of martial artists from all kinds of different backgrounds and styles. The background of Jake Presley and Dawson Holt, actually a Taekwondo background, but they have karate training as well for some Japanese martial arts where a lot of the weapons influence comes from. Brett Thomason, of course, demonstrating Kung Fu.
Sort of the softer style of martial arts.
And I'm sure it gets that reputation for the silky smooth uniforms, right, Mallory?
The uniforms are always so cool, man.
So essentially the weapon he's using right now is a spear. There's a pointed bladed end on the end of this staff. Great display of balance there from Brett. Jumping over the spear, right into some more strikes. And a little palm spin for some extra swagger. Not the most traditional movement, but we'll let it slide.
Yes, indeed.
And Brett Thomason with a nice demonstration of the Chinese martial arts.
Let's please have all three competitors back up for scoring.
So strong performances from all three athletes. Now it is all in the hands of the judges. Let's go to Reed Presley for scoring.
And up first for scoring, you're gonna have Dawson Holt. Judges, score 9.98, 9.97, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, and 9.98 for Dawson Holt. And our next competitor, Jake Presley. Judges score 9.99, 9.99, 9.99, 99, 99, 99, and 9.99 for Jake Presley. And the scores for our final competitor, Brett Thomason. Judges score 9.97, 9.98, 9.97, 9.97, 9.97, 9.97, and 9.97 for Brett Thomason. And your winner of the 18 and over NASCA Overall Grand Championship Traditional Weapons for Men, Jake Presley. And presenting the award is none other than Greg Ruth, promoter of the Battle of Atlanta, and he is responsible for making this event happen. So let's make some noise for Mr. Greg Ruth.
So a great photo opportunity for our champion, Jake Presley, with a unanimous decision victory from the judges. The winning score of 9.99 straight across the board.
Now we're going to be moving right along to the 18 and over men's traditional forms overall grand championship. And it looks like the first competitor coming to the stage is going to be Jeff Doss.
We transition to the men's traditional forms overall grand championship. Whereas in the previous division, you saw a battle between bladed and non-bladed weapons. This will be a battle between Korean and Japanese forms.
And approaching the stage is Jeff Sushi Doss, a competitor I've been on multiple teams with. I think I met Jeff when he was 9 or 10 when he was first starting out, and he has been a traditionalist, just a fantastic martial artist through then. Most people look and see the belt that he has on, like, that's not black. No, that is a black belt. It's just been, with age, it actually starts to turn white.
And this is a pumse, the Korean word for form, that I have not seen very often from Jeff Doss. Maybe trying something new, and beautiful slow extension of that side kick.
Now, if you follow Jeff on social media, every day he shows like a kicking or stretching combination. And this shows why, at this age, still in his competition, he is able to still do those strong, high, powerful kicks.
And in terms of technique, balance, and control, Jeff Doss is absolutely one of the best kickers on planet Earth. Sharp spinning hook kick there. Love that twist kick to side kick combination. A little stumble there as Jeff hits that stance, but also showcasing his intensity that he is so well known for. But that little stumble, as tiny as it was, that can be costly, Mallory.
That is true.
Beautiful hook round kick there just a moment ago. There's another hook round. I mean, it is just a kicking clinic from Jeff Doss every time he steps on the mat.
And a twist kick at the end.
Nice little scissor kick. Twist kick with the right leg and a side kick with the left leg. Another slow extension side kick. Such a high level of difficulty on this form.
It reminds me of doing slow kicks in class. You would hear your instructor say that, and you're like, oh man, my leg's gonna be on fire tonight.
And a nice ovation from the audience for Jeff Doss. Again, a beautiful display of some Korean Taekwondo kicking.
And his competitor coming to the stage, Mason Stowell.
Taking the stage now, Mason Stowell representing Top 10 Team USA. One of the top Japanese martial artists in the country, regardless of which circuit you're competing on. He has been dominant on the North American Sport Karate Association World Tour. Was in the Warrior Cup finals earlier this year. And similarly to Jake Presley, took some time away from the sport, away from sport karate that is, also competing in traditional leagues where the only events that they have are traditional forms and kumite or fighting events. Very different from the open sport martial arts competition we see here tonight. Stowell started as a sport martial artist. It's always great to see him stepping back into this realm as often as he can.
He's another guy, if you also follow on social media, you see where in the world he's traveling to. Truly, you know, the martial arts has really taken him around the world to different countries to compete against all sorts of people. I mean, it's before he turned 18, I think he had logged more airline miles than most pilots do.
Just amazing power and snap in every technique that he executes. And this is a guy who is always in the gym. And I don't just mean in the dojo, I mean in the gym.
Yes, indeed.
Pumping iron and making sure that he's got the muscle mass to back up all this power he's showing off. So explosive. Stowell, a disciple of Jarrett Liker, who revolutionized traditional karate in the sport martial arts realm. Beautiful stance. I mean, that was a textbook horse stance.
You notice how he sank very slowly and very controlled into it.
When I say textbook, that means from the knee to the hip, almost completely parallel to the ground. That will do it for a beautiful kata once again from Mason Stowell. He has won the Battle of Atlanta countless times before, and that performance may just earn him another Battle Zone championship.
Great job, gentlemen.
For scoring once again, we hand it off to Reed Presley on stage.
All right, our first competitor up for scores is going to be Mr. Jeff Doss, and judges score 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.99, 9.98, 9.98, and 9.98 for Jeff Doss. And up next, we have Mason Stowell. Judges score 9.99, 9.99, 9.99, 9.98, 9.99, 9.99, and 9.99 for Mason Stowell. What? And your winner of the 18 and over NASCA Overall Grand Championship Black Belt Men's Traditional Forms is Mason Stowell.
And Mason
and
Stowell,
presenting this award,
our champion
is
once again.
Grandmaster Dennis Brown, promoter of the DC Cap Classics.
Downtown Dennis Brown presenting the award, promoter of the U.S. Capitol Classics. Mason Stowell donning his championship ring. And a little bit of added flair for the audience with that Webster, a one-footed front flip that he gave us after receiving those winning scores.
Awesome,
Just
job.
as natural as the day is long, just does
We're
it.
going to be heading over to Anna Glenn
Yeah,
for
maybe he
an
gets out of bed
interview.
that way. Just jumps up and does that.
Hey everybody, I'm here with Amanda, our 13 and under Forums winner. Amanda, tell me a little about how you got started in karate.
I got started with karate at the age of 5 at a local dojo in Kenilworth, New Jersey.
What would you say is your favorite part about competing in this tournament?
This tournament just has a lot of amazing competitors, and I just love seeing my friends in general, so yeah.
Makes it fun, right? Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
My coach, Haley Glass, I love you.
And finally, I have to ask, you flew here from New Jersey, so what is your go-to airplane snack?
Candy.
Candy, always. All right, thank you, Amanda. Congratulations. We'll be right back after this.
What's up, guys? I'm Pia, and I'm here at the Battle of Atlanta. I've been competing here since I was 10 years old, and I'm now 16. It has opened up so many opportunities for me, including letting me start my stunt career and also my acting career at the age of 16, which I did not think was possible until I turned 18. It's surreal being able to win and compete on the stage, actually having that support with me and winning those trophies, making memories, meeting new people. I remember being a little girl watching my mentors and my coaches compete up on stage, and now that I have been able to, and I have competed in so many stages, so many night shows, and won those night shows, it is a dream come true, and I enjoy it so much. I love competing, and it's always an amazing experience in NASCA and in the Battle of Atlanta, and that's why I keep coming back. Thank you to the Battle of Atlanta for having me here, and if you guys want to follow me and my brother's journey in the sport karate world, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at DGMPia and see our tournament vlogs. We do lots of stuff, and we love doing that stuff.
Are you guys ready for another fight? I'd say it's about time. All right, we're gonna be going into the 18 and over NASCA Overall Grand Championship Black Belt Men Heavyweight Point Sparring Division, which is going to have Darren versus Richard Avery Loudon.
As you just heard from Reed Presley, coming to the stage now, our men's heavyweight overall grand championship. Darren X of Team Paul Mitchell taking on Richard Avery Loudon of Team Impex KTOC.
The more energy you give these fighters, the better show they give you. Give it up for these two teams as they get ready to show you what they've got.
Darren X, also known as D-Stats.
D-Stacks in the black uniform, black headgear. Richard Avery Plowden in the white and the white headgear. Coaches to the side, his father Richard Plowden in the chair to his back, and Damian Gilbert, coach of Team Paul Mitchell. Don't blink.
If you're just joining us, it is 1 point for hand techniques, 2 points for kicking techniques.
Not enough.
Plowden on the offense early. D-Stacks trying to get those kicks going. Fadeaway side kick doesn't land, but the punch from Plowden does. Plowden off to an early lead, 1-0.
Like our ladies fight, I think this is also going to be a case of who's going to control the rhythm of the fight. Notice that Avery is staying calm. He's outside of the attacking range, and he keeps a high guard and moves in to strike.
1 point blue.
D-Stacks takes off on the attack and gets on the board. 2-1 Plowden. Defensive side kick from Plowden. Center referee sees it. The other judges do not. Not enough confirmation.
1 minute remaining in
Need
the
2 out of
first
3
round.
judges to call it to receive the points.
What's up, guys?
Defensive side kick attempt from Darren X.
Not enough, not enough.
Also does not connect. Lead hand, ridge hand from Darren.
1 point
Darren
blue.
X does not score.
Scores 3-1
Plowden
with
again
40
able to
seconds
score.
remaining.
Second effort that time got that point.
Never stop fighting until the judges say stop. That's what got Plowden those points. And a clean defensive
2 points
side kick
red.
slides in for
Scores
Darren X.
3-3. 30 seconds remaining in the first round.
Just under 30 ticks left in the first round. Great defense there from Plowden. That high guard.
1 point blue.
And then off of the defense, creating offense.
15
Takes off and
seconds
scores
remaining.
with the
Scores
reverse
4-3.
punch. He's up 4-3.
Avery leads.
Body punch. That is from
1
his
point
dad.
blue.
You could really hear the pop on that contact.
And time.
That is a classic
Ending
Plowden
the
reverse
first
punch right
round of
there.
this
I swear they have a
two-round
whole
fight.
class up there
Avery
in
leads
Michigan
with a
that just
score
drills
of
just that.
5-3.
And really a good job by Darren X of staying with Avery Plowden in the opening, say, 90 seconds of that round. And then Avery able to get a couple of nice, clean hand techniques to score, capitalizing on a little bit of confusion about whether or not there was a stoppage. Always continuing to fight until the referee says stop. And then just that beautiful, powerful body punch.
And if you notice the confidence that Avery has in that front hand guard, he's holding up there against a leg. Not only to be able to read and guard against that, but the second you start to bring that leg down, he fires for that body punch.
Both combatants saying, have a look at my cardio. I don't have to take a rest.
Cardio can be used as a weapon.
They do say they will take the full break even though we stay standing. Good clarification there from the center referee.
For Darren.
Sounds like the crowd favors
Avery.
Darren X a little
Just
bit.
a little bit. Momentum appears to be on the side of JPM. Let's see how this plays out.
Two minutes.
Can the
Judges are ready, fighters
defense
are ready.
of
Let's
Avery
go.
Plowden hold on to this victory? Or will D-Stacks make a comeback?
Now, it's interesting. What I see from Stacks right now is he's throwing that lead leg, hoping to be able to scoot in and deliver a blitz. That's what I see from him. And Plowden with a counter.
1 point blue. Scores
Beautiful
6-3.
counter for Avery Plowden.
leads.
A few moments before that, D-Stacks had a beautiful block on a Plowden kick that was huge. That would have been a big
1 point
momentum
red.
swing. Stacks
Scores
gets one back
6-4.
there.
Notice how much fakes are playing into this fight right here.
Not enough.
Avery faking forward to see exactly what Stacks is going to do. Stacks doing the same to him.
D-Stacks hesitates on the takeoff and Plowden
1 point blue.
capitalizes. You cannot hesitate against Avery Plowden.
No, that's just a big old go sign to him.
Both athletes try to kick, nothing lands. Side kick from
Side
Darren
kick,
X.
Not enough confirmation.
Looks like a block. 1
Chris
minute
Walker,
remaining.
the corner
Scores
judge, says it was
7-4.
blocked.
Avery leads. 1
That
point
point
red.
goes to
Scores
Darren X.
7-5.
2 point advantage for Plowden. Under a minute remaining.
Not enough. Looks like
Nothing
a clash.
scores on that exchange. So
40
close
seconds
for Darren
remaining.
X on that exchange. And then again, that front
1
hand
point
of
blue.
Avery Plowden, so good at staying tight on
8
defense.
to 5, 30 seconds
You
remaining.
notice he just matched that movement in the leg. Oh, but there's a
Looks
side
like
kick.
2
right
That
there.
could be
Points are going to
huge
blue.
as
This is
Darren
a
X gets
1-point
that side
match.
kick. Fadeaway side kick again does
Not
not
enough.
score.
20 seconds remaining. 8 to 7. Avery still leads.
Head
that
kick.
head kick got
Head
in.
kick from Darren X. He's up
Red.
1.
Plowden comes back and ties it back
And
up.
1
though.
point
what
blue.
great
We are
fighters
all
do,
tied up
weathering
with
the
10
storm and
seconds
immediately
remaining in the
tying it
second
back.
round.
Body punch exchange. No.
Not enough.
Final
Five
seconds.
Clash.
There's a move. No confirmation.
Oh, a clash called in the closing moments.
First point
We are
wins.
headed
Sudden
to
victory.
overtime. Sudden victory overtime.
Body punch by Plowden. That's going to take it.
And that is the defense of Plowden winning the championship. Darren X wanted the head kick to close it with a highlight. Avery Plowden keeps that lead hand high and tight, takes advantage of the opportunity to follow, and he wins another heavyweight overall grand championship. What a matchup.
I mean, both matchups have been just nail-biter. It comes down to the last exchange of techniques.
Ernest the Cat Miller taking the stage to present Avery Plowden with his award.
Should someone call his mama?
It looks like the cat
looks
shirt
like
might
the
be
cat
hung
has
up.
caught a trophy. You know, Avery might have to wrestle him for that. I don't know if he wants to do that.
Instant classic right there. What a great heavyweight fighter.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! Yeah, I was building on a lecture. Verses coming daily under pressure. Working on the plot and the scheme. The true style trademark is at the edge of your dreams. I'm talking one shot for the kill. The breeze cut, freeze up, straight dropping the chills. I'm talking. It's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
And up next, we're going to be moving on to the NASCA Overall Grand Championship Black Belt Women Traditional Forms. Our first competitor is going to be Lily McGuire.
Now we have the Women's Traditional Forms Overall Grand Championship. Again, a battle between the Korean martial arts and the Japanese martial arts. First on stage, our Korean stylist, Lily McGuire of Kick Team. And for those of you tuning in at home, if you happen to be a martial artist yourself, let us know what style of martial arts you practice in the comments. Maybe that'll help you determine who you should root for in this division.
Definitely so, and we are watching those comments, so we'll be interactive with you guys.
And one thing about Korean martial arts, whether it's Taekwondo or Tang Sudo, is the kicking, and that is a beautiful full extension twist kick. Hold for a few moments there by Lily McGuire.
Let me just tell you right now, my hip hurts just looking at that.
Beautiful height on the front kick.
Wow. Wow.
Show-stopping side kick. And one of the things about this Pumse Gaebek is the name of the form, is that there's such a variety of kicks. We've already seen twist kick, front kick, round kick, side kick. That's 4 kicks in the first, 20 seconds of the form?
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the halfway point yet.
And there's an axe kick, even more variety. And a strong display of the kicking skills of Lily McGuire. Fitting that she represents Kick Team, right, Mallory?
I think it was meant to be.
And the next competitor is going to be Ariel Rudolph.
Now our Japanese martial arts representative, a Goju-Ryu stylist, under the tutelage of Sensei Robert Young, as well as world champion Ariel Torres, Gabrielle Rudolph, who I might be a little familiar with.
I think you might have to add a disclaimer.
Gabrielle Rudolph is, of course, my wife, and I will do my best to give as unbiased commentary as possible, but that's why we've got Mallory in the booth to keep me in check.
So you want me to take over for this? No, you're doing a great job. You keep on going.
The name of Gabrielle's kata, Kishimoto Kusanku. A strong jump kick to get things started for Gabrielle. She has 2 overall grand championships on the season from the AKA Warrior Cup and the Compete Internationals. Looking to add another overall grand championship to her collection tonight. And again, in these Japanese forms, it's the combination of grace, slow pacing, and the explosive power that you see when she unloads some of these techniques.
It is a great contrast to see from a Korean stylist that we saw before to a different style here. You see that, yes, there are kicks involved, but the technique is different. The pacing is different.
Moments ago, a nice display of balance. A little foot grab technique, and then transitioning to the low stance. Nice power on that crescent kick. And a little hair in her face won't get in her way on the last move of the kata.
You know, something I never had to worry about.
And with a few more closing movements, a beautiful kata by Gabrielle Rudolph.
Gabrielle Rudolph.
So yet another battle between a Korean martial artist and a Japanese martial artist. It all comes down to the judges now. Let's hear the scores from Reed Presley.
And the first competitor up for scoring, Lily McGuire. Judges call 9.98, 9.99, 9.98, 9.99, 9.99, 9.98, and 9.98 for Lily McGuire.
I know you're doing some quick math in your head.
And now we have the scores for Gabrielle Rudolph. Judges score 9.99, 9.98, 9.99, 9.98, 9.98, 9.99, and 9.99 for Gabrielle Rudolph, making the winner of the NASCA Overall Grand Championship Black Belt Women Traditional Forms, Gabrielle Rudolph. And presenting the award is multi-time world champion, stunt woman, Wonder Woman, pretty sure she's done it all, Caitlin Deschelle.
And in a nail biter, a 4-3 split between the judges, Gabrielle Rudolph comes out on top. Another overall grand championship with her Japanese kata. And a great Korean poomsae from Lily McGuire. Really a great matchup in that one.
Yeah, definitely a nail biter. It came down to just one judge's decision.
Now, if my information is correct, I believe they won both of these divisions. And so you have 3 gentlemen that collectively compete in the Forms and Weapons CMX Sync Challenge. They're all from the same team. So what they're gonna do instead of competing is come out here and do some type of CMX Forms and Weapons performance. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. Let's make some noise for Team Paul Mitchell!
Taking the stage now, the Three Musketeers of Team Paul Mitchell. Ben Jones with the kind of pink-colored bow, Esteban Tremblay with the slightly more silvery purple, and Dawson Holt without a weapon in hand at the back of the stage.
For now. Who knows? He might get one of those weapons.
Ben and Esteban teamed up to win the synchronized CMX weapons title. And then Ben Jones and Dawson Holt teamed up for the Forms title. Hence the unique demonstration that we're getting here. All three of these boys have been teammates for as long as I can remember. And Esteban gets the crowd hyped up as Ben and Dawson take center stage. Ben Jones working a little overtime here.
I was going to say, he's definitely doing the lion's share of work.
I love the old school vibes that you get from Dawson and Ben. And then watching where that hook kick from Dawson Holt sent the Invincible Ninja, and Ben Jones finishing up the job.
Esteban playing hype man in the back.
Esteban conducting these boys. And matches up with them on the ending move. And a collective bow for the boys from Team Paul Mitchell.
Well done.
They take a moment to hug it out on stage. And now we get the award presentation.
Of the CMX Team Sync Challenge is Team Paul Mitchell, and presenting the award is Jesse Thornton.
Stylish suit and hat
Sharp
ensemble
dress
there
man.
for our award presenter, Jesse Thornton.
I mean, you got to have style to pull off a hat and a suit combination like that, man.
Right?
All right, we're going to be moving right along into the Team Sync Challenge for the traditional divisions. So you're going to have a traditional kata sync versus a traditional weapons sync. And I might say that it is showtime as we get this sync division started. Up first, we're going to have Team Paul Mitchell coming to the stage.
Now we transition to actual competition in the traditional synchronized final, Forms versus Weapons. Your Forms winners from earlier this weekend, Team Paul Mitchell, featuring Gabrielle Rudolph, who you just saw win the Women's Traditional Forms Overall Grand Championship, and Samuel Diaz III. And that shot that we saw of Gabrielle off stage, she looked as intense as I've ever seen her.
I was going to say, I usually don't see her looking like that. She's smiling, but this is a different persona right now.
I mean, that was the intensity of when I haven't done the dishes yet.
Oh. How does that usually work out in the end?
I start doing the dishes.
Good call, good call.
So far, these two athletes very in sync with one another. And now a little bunkai demonstration showing the practical application of some of these traditional karate techniques.
One good throw deserves another.
Gabrielle getting her payback on Uncle Sam there. Samuel Diaz III, affectionately referred to as Uncle Sam, as one of the senior members of Team Paul Mitchell. Very in sync throughout for these two. And that will bring a close to their synchronized rendition of the Kata Anan. Gabriel Rudolph and Samuel Diaz III.
Team Paul Mitchell. And their competitors coming to the stage is Team Showtime.
Now taking the stage, Team Showtime.
Michael Molina, the showman already with his big sister, is taking the stage, getting the crowd warmed up.
The Molina siblings have always been performers. We've seen both of them on this Battle of Atlanta stage many times before as individuals. Great to see them up there for Team Sync Weapons.
I know Mom and Dad are in the crowd smiling and enjoying this moment.
Good simplistic intro there. I'm Cody, I'm Michael. That's all you need to know.
Let's get to it.
Great intensity from these two young athletes. Going up against some grown adults, a tall task.
Yeah, but you know what? I think these two competitors are up to the challenge. Even Cody doing things like taking on wrestling in high school, doing, stepping outside of the traditional bounds of the martial arts.
And recently named an All-American lacrosse player as well.
She doesn't sit still. She stays busy.
This fast-paced bow form, very in sync for Cody and Michael. And now they're going to show off a little bunkai of their own, a nice fight scene. Big sister beating up on little brother a little bit.
A little revenge there. During a recent interview, I asked Michael what he would like to do. He said he has his eyes on Hollywood, and his dream action role is to play Spider-Man.
With skills like this, he could certainly give Tom Holland a run for his money. No offense, Tom Holland. And a powerful, energetic performance from Cody and Michael Molina of Team Showtime, living up to the name of their team. This will be some interesting scoring. Adult forms versus junior weapons.
I mean, I honestly cannot remember when I've seen, a competition between adults and juniors for quite a while.
Very unique matchup. Michael Molina's bow takes a tumble there. Does not get accounted for in scoring.
No.
Paul Mitchell. I'm changing it up on you guys.
We go to Reed Presley for the scores.
Call 9.98, 9.98, 9.99, 9.98, 9.98, 9.99, and 9.98 for Team Paul Mitchell.
And you can tell by the reaction of Cody and Michael, they've done the quick math. And they think the kids have come out on top tonight.
The kids are all right.
Showtime. Judges score 9.99, 9.99.
And the crowd rises to its feet.
9.98, 9.99, 9.99, 9.98, and 9.99 for Team Showtime.
And David takes down Goliath yet again.
Of the traditional Team Sync Challenge, Team Showtime.
A big win for Team
the award
Showtime,
is
Cody
be
and Michael Molina.
Michael Preliti, promoter of the Toronto Championship.
That is Mike Politi, promoter of the Toronto International Tournament of Martial Arts Champions.
Very good tournament to go to in Canada.
And a big smile all around. Of course, Gabrielle and Sam proud of these youngsters for this big win.
You have to, because the martial arts are in good hands
Now,
with competitors like that.
I'm not really sure what's going on backstage, but after watching Jake win the traditional weapons overall earlier, everyone backstage is trying to figure out if his older brother, myself, can still keep up with him. So Jake, could you just bring 2 bows up here real fast for me? Do you think?
What is this?
Do you think you have those? Okay.
Jake Presley returns to the stage after winning his traditional title. Reed Presley getting his stretch on. And Reed's going to try to work the bow with Jake here.
It's going to be interesting in the suit.
Does anybody know where my bow is right now?
You know what? You might get a call to Sage.
Oh, Jake with a little surprise toss to Reed there.
But Reed is very familiar with using 2 bows at once.
Reed, one of the great innovators of double bow, has certainly won more on this circuit with double bow than anybody else.
Oh, no!
The bows take a tumble. And a little Chris Angel done with double bows. Chris Angel, one of the moves that I originated. Reed mixing it up with the double bow. And then the Magneto, that's a Reed Presley original. Throwing one bow out, tapping it back. Great demonstration from a couple of Presley brothers. You gotta love it.
Did I keep up with them okay? Okay. All right. It wouldn't be a NASCA night show if at least one Presley didn't drop. So, glad I got that out of the way for you all. Moving right along.
Being Jackson Rudolph, that was Reed's best one-liner of the night.
Future Stars Underbelt division. Now, even though I'm a little out of breath, I have to hype them up. For this next division, this is the Underbelts. So please give them a lot of energy because they are the future of what you guys are seeing right now. So after they perform, if they do something cool, let's give them some noise. Up first, we have Dayton Gurleman.
And now we are moving on to an underbelt showcase. Dayton Gurleman taking the stage as part of our Future Stars showcase. These are athletes who have not yet earned their black belts, but still came and tested their skills at this weekend's competition, getting an amazing opportunity to perform on one of the world's biggest stages in sport karate.
Now, it's been said before, but again, a true future of the sport because we get our black belts from our underbelts.
Nice choreography with the music.
Yeah, the music is really setting the mood here.
Some high-speed striking to get things started. Mixing in the wushu butterfly kick, a little bit of kung fu influence. And the finger spin into a double spin release.
You might have seen that before, Mike.
that one was a little familiar. Love it. And a high level of difficulty, especially for an underbelt.
Yeah, I think he's well on his way to appearing in the stage in the night show in a future event.
Nice little circus tap, rolling the bow up to the shoulder, tapping it off, still making the catch. Another nice release from behind the back. Looks like this is the climax of the form. One more big release combo. Double spin on the flick release. And he's still going.
Got lots of energy, man.
Oh, the scarecrow. A great neck roll variation and an awesome performance from Dayton Gurlamet.
And next, coming to the stage is Edisel Torres.
Edisel Torres now taking the stage, performing a traditional kata. And again, for a competitor that has not yet earned his black belt to be on a stage like this, demonstrating some solid technique. Very impressive. And this is one of the great things about sport karate for anybody watching from home, is that these are all open events. And so no matter who you are, what rank you are, what style you practice, you can show up to one of these World Tour events and register to compete and compete against some of the world's best. It's truly something that's unique to the sport karate community that you don't get in any other sport.
Yes, and this actually helps build better champions. You know, you may have, your first exposure may have been as an audience member, maybe a clip you saw online. And if you have that desire and that drive to compete, this is the place to do it.
Some hang time on that jump.
Yes, indeed.
Comes another jumping kick. Well executed. Edisel Torres making a name for himself with this kata, and we hope to see him soon once he moves up to the black belt division.
Up for Edisel Torres. And our final competitor coming to the stage is Kaylee Avila.
And our last competitor coming to the stage, Kaylee Avila, a red belt with a pretty OG way to enter the ring there. Remember back in the day, there were a lot of schools that would teach to lift a hand in the air and yell, "Judges," to get their attention before you enter the ring. Good to see some of those foundational kind of old school tournament skills still coming out.
You know, sometimes after a long day of judging, you know, you gotta wake those guys up a little bit.
Exactly.
Let them know you're here.
And it's a great way for the competitor to show their intensity right up front. And judging by the looks of it, she may be performing a black belt kata. This may be Paparin, which is a kata you often see in the black belt divisions. And again, it's just awesome to see these underbelts getting the opportunity to showcase their skills ahead of the curve in terms of their martial arts training, making it to a big stage like this before they even achieve the rank of black belt. A great opportunity to inspire them moving forward.
Yeah, nothing like being on the stage that'll say, you know, I want to be here again. And I want to continue to do this.
If you want to help these athletes get the recognition they deserve, as well as sharing the talents of some of the professionals that are going to be coming up next, go ahead and hit that share button, get that link out, make sure that all of your friends see this live stream showcasing the talent at the Battle of Atlanta. Nice balance by the youngster. And again, Mallory, a black belt level kata.
Well, as an advanced belt, black belt is definitely right along the road as she continues to drive towards it. So, you know, why not challenge yourself?
Another display of balance here. Well done for Kaylee. Now she'll have one more technique to show off some leg strength at the very end of the kata. And Kaylee Avila with a nice traditional performance to bring a close to our underbelt showcase here in the Battle Zone Finals. And making sure the judges know that she said thank you at the end of it.
Let's give it up for Kaylee. And now let's have all competitors please back up for staging to receive your awards. And coming to present these awards is Ronnie Presley, Eric Rudolph, and Marilyn Ader.
So Marilyn Ader, Ronnie Presley, and my dad, Eric Rudolph, coming to the stage to present these awards to these underbelt champions.
Edisol and Kaylee, one more time as our future underbelt superstars.
And a big round of applause from the audience for these up-and-comers. You love to see it.
It's always good when you get a trophy
now
that's taller than you are.
Now I'm sending it to Anna Glenn for another interview.
Thanks, Reed. I'm hanging out backstage with Team Paul Mitchell, competing in the main event a little bit later tonight. Why does your team deserve to win?
Because we're the best in the world.
Period.
I just want to stand next to these guys, that's all.
Some camaraderie, right? What are you doing between now and when you step on stage to mentally prepare yourself?
I just pace back and forth.
Visualize what's going to happen in the ring, and then we step in there and make it happen.
Just making sure that we yield the positive thought to get the positive result within the ring, but standing next to these guys, that's the only thing that can come from it.
Tomorrow's Father's Day, so I need each of you to give me your best dad joke.
What do you call a lion that wakes up?
What?
Verizon.
Does anyone else have one?
I don't know. Why are spiders so smart?
Why?
Because they can find everything on the web.
But
What?
Okay. Let's hope this one's a little better.
What are we doing? Dad jokes? Yeah, straight up winning.
All right, good luck tonight. We'll be back after this message.
Hey competitors, Noah Garrett here, and I just wanted to say congratulations to everyone that has made it out to compete this weekend. Because of the hard work that I have put in, I was able to receive a lot of cool opportunities in the film industry. Nowadays, I'm stunt coordinating and fight coordinating on movies and TV shows such as the new Fight Night with Kevin Hart, which is airing September 1st.
Our stunt action workshop that we have here at the Battle of Atlanta, this is our 3rd year doing it. I got introduced to the stunt industry at a young age, rather. I got my first role in the movie Logan. It's a Wolverine film that came out in 2017, and I was 13 years old.
I've been blessed with opportunities to play on big movies and TV shows like Cobra Kai, Black Panther, Blue Beetle, double Jenna Ortega on Beetlejuice.
And I just want to take the time and encourage you to continue on your path of sharpening your skills, because it's an incredible way to see what kind of doors can open up for you.
most of us here are in love with. This is our passion, this is our life, but a lot of us don't know where it could take us, what routes we can go after.
We've been so happy to come in every year and teach you guys what it takes to be a part of that stunt industry.
I am beyond thankful for the lessons that my mentors have taught me to become a hard worker and sharpen myself as a martial arts athlete.
Yes, your dreams are possible.
Come check out the stunt workshop. I know you're gonna love it. Fall in love with stunts just like we have. Hope to see you there.
Thank you again, Battle of Atlanta and Sport Karate, for giving us everything we've got.
Woo! Battle of Atlanta, how we feeling? Yeah! Ooh, I like this side of the room. Not to be by. Yes! We've got some goodies for you guys. But before we get to it, I want you guys to earn it. Yeah. If you are on this side of the room, I want you to say B. If you're here, I want to hear O. And if you're over here, I want to hear you say A. Ready? Let's do it. B. O. A. All by yourselves. Ready? One more time. That's right, you earned it. Thank you guys so much for being here and keeping the energy high for these competitors. Let's check something cool out real quick. Keep it high, keep the energy high. Let's check out Mr. Trey. Woo! Can you give it up for Mr. Trey McAdams? All right, get loud one more time, and we're gonna throw those t-shirts where we see the most energy. And go! Throw 'em, ready, go, throw 'em. Oh my God. You guys are so awesome. Woo! Give it up. We have had so much talent on this stage, and they are able to give you their all. Their all because you guys give them your all. So keep that energy 100% so those competitors can give you 110. Are you guys ready for the rest of the night show? Wait, hold on. That energy kind of came down. One more time. Are you guys ready to see the rest of the battle zone? Let's go.
I told you guys every time Juliana steps on stage, you guys better make some noise. What'd you guys think about that? All right, now, I got another important question for you. You guys ready for some more sparring? All right, so we've already seen the heavyweight, so let's go ahead and move on into the overall Grand Championship Black Belt Men's Lightweight Point Sparring Overall Grands. We're gonna have
with our
Enrique
lightweight portion of the show
versus Tyson
We're gonna
Ray.
get Tyson Ray and Enrique Latona to come to stage. And before we went to the break, that wasn't the house lights going down. That was shade from John Paul Mitchell. I was not ready for that.
Coming up later this evening, we will have the men's team sparring final. Cameron Ali saying it's a joke if you think Straight Up's gonna win it. That is hilarious.
Wow, he didn't drop the mic. He just walked past the mic.
But for now, we have two elite lightweight point fighters on stage. Enrique Latona in the green uniform befitting Diamond G3. Tyson Ray in the black uniform with red gloves. Representing Team Next Level. Recently inked an individual deal with Top 10 Martial Arts. Has some swag in the new uniform to boot.
You know, I love every year Next Level does come out with a new uniform kit, and I like this one that's up here. These two guys are very familiar with each other. They fought together, fought against each other as juniors. So let's see how they do as adults.
2 rounds in this men's lightweight sparring final. 1 point for hand techniques, 2 points for kick techniques, 3 points for a jump spinning kick to the head. Enrique Latona, one of the best kickers in the world today. He's going to be looking for those 2-pointers.
You know, Tyson Ray just looking as calm as the day is long, right in the face of danger, and as Enrique scores a head kick.
Nice round kick to the back of the head for Enrique. Scoring to the back of the head is legal. This is not a knockout sport. It's all about whoever lands the clean technique first. Fighters protected with helmets. Tyson Ray goes for the little jump switch back kick attempt, but Enrique Latona's hands able to score first. Looked like a nice side kick from Latona, slid past Ray, and he was able to capitalize and score.
He's able to get one of those points back.
3-1 Latona. Side kick Latona blocked by Ray.
1 minute remaining.
Looks like Tyson had jammed him right there, but Latona was able to get the point.
Great job of Latona showing his plan B. If he attacks with the kick and the kick gets checked, be ready to throw hands. Ray on the attack, no calls. Fadeaway back fist from Latona also came up short. And look at that, Ray jammed that kick and Latona still kept the leg up.
Latona with the lead blitz gets that point, making it 5-1, correction.
Little low on that kick for Latona. Hit the hip of Ray.
Those do not tickle. Let me tell you right now, with the heel, looks like the point was awarded because there are no warnings here. But when the heel digs right into your hip, man, it affects your ability to lift that leg, to move. Completely unintentional, of course.
Another fadeaway side kick attempt for Latona. Doesn't quite score.
I think Tyson's going to have to start breaking these down, taking some different angles as he shifts this fight a little bit towards the front of the stage.
5 seconds.
Ray patiently waiting for that leg to come down and open up an opportunity. Time is called just before the back fist attempt for Ray. And we will go to the second round with a score of 5-2 in favor of Latona. Looks like the score you may be seeing at home shows 5-2 Ray. That is not accurate. It is Latona leading 5-2. They get a word from their coaches, Damian Rodriguez in the Latona corner, Jesse Ray, of course, in Tyson Ray's corner.
And, you know, probably what Jesse's telling Tyson right now is, you know, hey, you got to break things down. Looks like you got to tell him to do, you know, cut a few angles here. And that's exactly what his dad did when he was out here competing a couple of years ago. I don't want to say too many years ago. Enrique is just getting, you know, some sage advice from Damian there, who's done a great job of putting this G3 team together.
Fighters will get up and get the blood pumping a little before round 2 is set to begin. A 1-minute break between rounds. This will be the second and final round. Looks like a reminder from the center referee, Nick Kane. It is win by 1. Does not matter the margin of victory. If they are tied, there will be a sudden death overtime. Go ahead, Mallory.
Looks like we've got that score corrected on the screen now.
And Latona is going to trust that leg all night long, as he should.
It's one of his best weapons. I don't blame him for not changing a thing. The formula's working. And this time he used the hands to score.
But it was all the leg that set it up. Showing that leg first keeps Tyson Ray back, and as soon as the leg comes down, Enrique knows he's going to have an opportunity to throw hands.
I'd like to see Tyson include more than one punch. A combination would definitely help in his scoring opportunity.
There he's able to score on the blitz, and Ray is a great kicker as well. Sometimes the best way to try to neutralize a kicker is to kick with them.
That's true, but also sometimes during this match, you kind of cede the kicking battle to the other person, and you work on something else.
Excellent point, Mallory. And Ray starting to get some momentum. He scored on 2 consecutive blitzes.
All right, Latona's still sitting on a 2-point lead, and he's very content to sit back there. But once again, Ray edges it a little closer.
Trusting the hands working for Tyson Ray. He's only down by 1 now.
The last thing you want to do is run into a kick at this point.
Jump back fist for Ray, scores.
You notice how he changed the angle. He went behind the kick and another blitz attack. He takes the lead for the first time in this match. And another blitz.
Oh, but his hands touch the ground. If you go down, you are not able to score on that exchange. You have to stay on your feet. Great movement from Ray, but the back fist was blocked by Latona.
And this time a side kick by Ray. Did it score? No, Ray still clinging to a 1-point lead. Both gentlemen throwing some fakes. Latona showing some offense now.
Beautiful fadeaway back fist from Latona. We are knotted at 7. Under 10 seconds remaining.
Who's going to be the first to move? Tyson goes with a dive bomb blitz.
They both come up with nothing on the exchange. Latona keeps fighting and scores.
And a hook kick at the end.
Hook kick. Oh, but they say he didn't land in bounds after the hook kick. One judge called it.
Looks like Jesse Ray is asking for a ring out. However, the judges say that he was fighting out, so no penalty point will be awarded. Latona takes this match.
And Enrique Latona in a thriller despite a violent comeback from Tyson Ray. El Rey remains the king of the lightweights this weekend at the Battle of Atlanta. David Boissonnet taking the stage to present the award, the promoter of the Quebec Open. And Enrique Latona delivers on his promise. This morning on my podcast, Latona said, I asked him, I said, what's it going to take to win the lightweight overall? And he didn't really give me an answer. He just said, I'm going to win. And this is what he's done.
Promise delivered.
All right, we are now back with more forms competition. So now we're gonna be moving into the 14-17 NASCA Overall Grand Championship Girls Forms Division. Looks like up first, we're gonna have Sofia Rodriguez Flores.
Now we transition to the 14-17 Girls Forms Overall Grand Championship. Another battle between the traditional and the extreme martial artists. Returning to the stage, Sofia Rodriguez Flores. Representing Team Infinity, training out of the Kenseikan Dojo in Miami. Paparin, the kata of choice for Sofia Rodriguez Flores. And if I'm not mistaken, this may be the first time that I've seen Sofia with a choreographed Paparin. Sofia, well known for her choreographed traditional kata routines. Does a great job of drawing the audience in with the music to match the form. And so consistently able to do it with multiple different kata. A major example of the choreography there, bringing the suspense, waiting for the music to build before throwing that downward punch. But there's also subtle elements to the choreography, like one little explosive movement coordinated with a drum beat. It's really beautiful.
I mean, it just shows the example of the hard work being put in. How many times do you think she has heard this music, going over this again and again and again, trying to get as close to perfection as possible?
When you listen to a song that many times, maybe that's the reason she picked a new kata.
That's true too. Change is
Get
good.
Tired of it eventually. But no, that's a big part of the strategy for a lot of these athletes, is mixing it up every once in a while. You're not always going to go out there and do the same form. You want to give the judges a taste of something new. And this summer stretch of World Tour events, of course, here at the Battle of Atlanta, the US Open coming up in a couple of weeks. A great time for competitors to be making those big adjustments to try to take home these major championships. Beautifully done for Sofia Rodriguez Flores.
Give it up for Sofia Rodriguez Flores. And her competitor coming to the stage is Alice Gross.
Alice Gross, representing Tiger Rock Martial Arts, taking the stage as the extreme competitor of this division. In these comparisons so far this evening, the judges have trended towards the extreme. Let's see if they keep that up for Alice Gross with a beautiful double full, a backflip with 2 twists. Showing the basics with a hand combo right into the side swipe, an inverted kicking technique. Touchdown raise right into the cork. Cork, short for corkscrew, of course, a backflip with a full twist taking off of 1 foot. And then showing some basic kicking skills with the twist kick and the jump outside crescent kick, and then a beautiful side kick. Getting ready for one more acrobatic pass to the back of the ring. Round off flash. Nice little drop round kick, and Alice Gross with a strong form to bring this division to a close and make for another tough decision on these judges.
You know, with the length of it, she's tall, she's got those long legs, she looks almost like floating when she's doing that kind of.
On into the boys 14-17 division.
Does that style remind you of anybody, Mallory?
Caitlin Deschelle.
And coming to the stage,
sport karate legend and stunt performer who was in
Aiden
attendance at the Battle of Atlanta
Guernsey.
this weekend. Now on stage, we have Aiden Guernsey in the 14-17 boys forms overall grand championship. Representing Team AKA, short for the American Karate Association. Coached by the legendary John Sharkey. Expect a high-flying performance in this one.
You can almost feel the energy building right now.
Massive double full to get things started. That might have actually been a full D-leg, where you bring the legs together and dip the hips outwards a little bit in the middle of the 2 full twists. I'd have to watch the slow motion replay to try to catch it. Full speed on the hand combos. Those speedy hand combos, a signature for anybody wearing the AKA uniform.
Speaking of floating.
Gumby Flash. Gumby in layman's terms, basically a twisty cartwheel.
Twisty cartwheel.
But mixing in some solid hand combos in between and showing the judges that solid foundation of martial arts basics too. And Aiden Guernsey with a couple of strong yells to bring the form to a close after a fantastic high-flying form.
You know, I mentioned to you before about the addition to watching these athletes pull off these extreme moves, but also to come up with some creative name of naming them as well.
His opponent this evening, representing the Traditionalists, also a member of Team AKA, Noah Sansate, hailing from Canada. Plenty of crowd support in a relatively silent room for this traditional kata.
A very smart audience. They get quiet for traditional kata to watch the athletes work.
It allows you to hear the power like that of every technique. Very different pace from the extreme performance you just saw, making it so difficult for these judges to compare. Lots of power from Noah Sansate. And the way that I always describe it is, if I'm in the judge's chair and you're comparing traditional to extreme, you have to say, okay, for a given extreme form, out of all the extreme forms that I've ever seen, how good was it? And then the same thing for the traditional, because you really can't compare them apples to apples. So you kind of have to compare them on a general scale of, well, really, how good was it?
I think that's a fair way to assess both styles.
That combination showing off some cat stances and front kicks. Balance and leg strength, both at a premium. And a solid kata for Noah Sansate.
Noah Sansate. Have all four competitors back up for score.
So to catch you up as these competitors come to the stage, the 14 to 17 girls forms championship between Sofia Rodriguez Flores and Alice Gross. And then the boys grand championship featuring Aiden Guernsey and Noah Sansate. Let us know in the comment section who you think is going to be in the favor of the judges.
Sofia Rodriguez Flores.
Now to Reed Presley for scoring.
Score. 9.99, 9.99, 9.99, 99, 99, 99, and 9.98 for Sofia Rodriguez Flores. And for our next competitor, we have Alice Gross. Judges call 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, and 9.99 for Alice Gross.
Based on those scores,
making
Sofia
the
Rodriguez
winner of the
Flores
NASCA Overall Grand Championship Girls Forms, Sofia Rodriguez Flores. And before we hand out the awards, let's go ahead and score the boys. Up first, we have Aiden Guernsey. Judges score 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.99, and 9.98 for Aiden Guernsey. And the next competitor, Noah Sansate. Judges call 9.99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 98, and 9.99 for Noah Sansate. making the winner of the NASCA Overall Grand Championship Boys Forms, Noah Saint. And now, presenting the awards is going to be Mr. Mike Sawyer and Jay Boatwright from the U.S. Open happening July of this year.
So the judges favor the traditionalists in this round. Sofia Rodriguez Flores of Team Infinity and Noah Sansate of Team AKA, your champions. The awards presented by Mike Sawyer and Jay Boatwright of the U.S. Open.
Coming up very soon.
All right, we're going to be moving right into the 13 and under NASCA Overall Grand Championship Girls Weapons. We are going to be starting with Camille Tripapoto coming to stage.
Now we pivot to the 13 and under Girls Weapons Overall Grand Championship. Our first competitor from Team Leclerc, Camille Tripapoto.
And I believe this is the first time we've seen Chucks on the stage tonight.
You know what? I think you're right, Mallory.
Camille Tripapoto.
I like the intro.
Making sure she knows who you are at the start of her music.
No one's going to use that music and take it as their own.
Making sure that you know who she is.
That's true.
I think I misspoke there. It's been a long day, Mallory.
Understandably.
You guys can roast me in the comments section. That just means we get more comments. So Camille Tripapoto working the nunchucks. I know she's got a lot of difficulty in this routine. Let's see what she throws. Lots of suspense and build up. Here we go. Lots of nunchuck striking in the early part of the form. Love to see martial artists showing off the basics. And then there's the flare. Couple of little horizontal releases and then a behind the back right into the tornado kick. Now showing off the balance and kicking skills. Nice use of both chucks at the same time, setting up those releases. And a little 360 with some added flair, keeping her hands on her hips. Another release into a jumping front kick. Couple of hand rolls, maybe setting up a couple of final moves here. Touchdown raise to the tornado kick. Double spin catch of the nunchuck, and she's got even more releases in store. Puts the chucks together and lands another double spin catch release. Camille Tripapoto, lots of difficulty packed into that nunchuck form.
And her competitor coming to the stage is Madeline Wiersma.
And her opponent in another battle between the extreme and the traditional. Maddie Wiersma, representing Team Competitive Edge. A sword specialist trained by none other than the great Kalman Choka in attendance this evening.
There's a name for the Battle of Atlanta.
And just about every other tournament you can imagine.
Absolutely true.
Excellent speed on these sword cuts from Maddie. And that's one thing that's always impressed me about Maddie Wiersma, not just the speed, but she is so technically sound at such a young age. It's not like she just developed this and now it's at a young age that she's doing it. I mean, she's been doing this since she was 7 or 8 years old and being this technically sound with her forms.
Super intense as well, too. Eyes always on her opponent.
And to Mallory's point, they were talking about her eyes being on an opponent. Every form you see is a simulated fight. Whether there is some extra performance value or not, all of the striking is meant to be martial arts striking that could be used in combat if needed.
I mean, right before this weapons pass, you saw that she struck with the hilt of the sword before slicing.
Nice jump spinning technique into the low stance. And for a traditional sword competitor, it's added difficulty every time that you resheath the sword and have to draw it once again. That's one of the most technical aspects of a sword form. So the more times that you see a competitor do that, judges often give them a couple of extra points for difficulty.
And if you notice, she's resheathing the sword without looking at it. She knows where it is by touch.
And Maddie Wiersma with that last key eye, making sure that every single judge sees her intensity. We've got a good one in the 13 and under weapons division.
Now, once again, before we score this division, we're going to be moving on to the boys 13 and under weapons division. And coming to the stage is going to be the winner of the boys 13 and under weapons division, since he won both the traditional weapons and the CMEX weapons. You've seen him already tonight, Michael Molina.
And always a showman, Michael Molina has already won the overall grand championship. He won both the traditional and the extreme weapons categories.
A little surprise.
Comes on stage with his creative bow and his traditional bow and says, you know what? I think I'm going to do commas. Flexing on everybody with his multiple talents.
Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be watching this young man on a movie screen or a television screen in the future. Bet on that.
He's getting right into it. Huge backflip. And even though it's just a demonstration, he means business. Everybody knows him for the bow. This is his opportunity to show the world, hey, I can do some commas too. And some nice speed on the comma cuts. Let's see what tricks are in his bag. Double spin catch with the commas. You do not see that every day.
It's also interesting to see him step outside of what we traditionally know him for. I can recall back to a different tournament where I thought I was going to be funny, and I think I threw a pair of commas at you saying, oh, let's see if you can use it. And you just surprised me showing off skills. And look at that pass right there.
Oh! A huge juggle release right into another double spin.
Single hand juggles.
Maybe we're going to see Michael Molina winning some overall grand championships with commas in the near future.
I think it's definitely in the cards.
Oh,
Count
he's
down.
going for quad. He counted to 4.
3, 4.
Oh!
He did it.
Oh! Mallory, did he just do that?
1, 2, 3, 4. He called a shot, then he did it.
Let's have all
That may be the first quadruple spin catch with a comma that has ever been landed in competition.
I think you might be right.
I'm in disbelief.
And he's just up there, just commas all the days long, no
And
problem.
we're going to start with
Cool
the
as the
girls.
other side of the pillow,
Competitor
as
up
the
for
great
scoring
Stuart
is
Scott
gonna
would
be
say.
Camille Triboto. Judges score 9.98, 9.97, 9.9. I'm going to start from this side again. 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.99, 9.98, 9.98, and 9.98 for Camille Triboto.
Judge accidentally flipped one
And
too many
up
cards
next,
on
we
one of those
have
scores, so we had to
Madeline
reset.
Wiersma.
Now scores for Maddie
Judges
Wiersma.
Score 9.99, 9.99, 9.99, 9.98, 9.99, 9.99, and 9.99 for Madeline Wiersma, making her the winner of the 13 and under NASCA Overall Grand Championship Girls Weapons. Now, before we do the awards, let's give it up for Mr. Michael Showtime Molina one more time, as he is the winner of the 13 and under NASCA Overall Grand Championship Boys Weapons. So now, coming to the stage to present the awards is Alex Reyes and Tony Hamsani.
Taking the stage, Alex Reyes of Point Fighter Live and Tony Hamsani of Team Legend to present the awards to our winners. Madeline Wiersma, the traditionalist representing Team Competitive Edge, as well as Michael Showtime Molina. After a ridiculous demonstration with a record-setting quadruple spin catch of the Kama.
So now Michael's got to carry the trophy, the combat. Oh, let's not forget the bows.
He almost did. He had to juke himself out for a second there and remember to go back and get him.
It's a lot of hard work to carry down those steps. Somebody give that young man a hand.
And we're going to be moving into the 18 and over NASCA Overall Grand Championship Black Belt Women Creative, Musical, and Extreme Weapons. Starting off with Cassidy Williams.
And I'm seeing in the comments section somebody claiming that it was 3 spins. I can assure you that was 4 spins on that catch of the Kama.
Might have to go to the replay.
We now transition to the women's CMX Creative Musical Extreme Weapons Grand Championship. Unique feature of the NASCA circuit is that in the Chinese weapons division, sometimes the forms are more reflective of the extreme as opposed to the traditional. So athletes have the choice of which grand championship they are going to qualify for. In this case, we are seeing a Chinese fan form in the CMX Creative Musical Extreme Finals. And the fans are not harmless. Every time that you whip open those fans, it can be a blunt force strike. I think historically some fans have also come with blades installed on the tips for some slicing action.
There's only one way to find out. To be sure.
I don't know if I want to.
We need a volunteer.
And a great performance to open up the division.
Going to be Sarah Campbell.
Taking the stage next for Team AKA, Sarah Campbell. Very high level of difficulty on this bow form, vying for the women's CMX Weapons Overall Grand Championship here in the Battle Zone. For those of you just tuning in, oftentimes forms and weapons competitors will enter the ring that way as a traditional part of competition, introduce themselves to the judges. Sarah Campbell getting right after it with this form. One spin, catching behind the back, another behind the back manipulation. Behind the head catch, into the 2.5. 2 spins with a behind the back catch right into the side kick. A hot start for Sarah Campbell. Another nice catch behind the back. Some Micah Carnes inspiration on that bow combo. Befitting of a Team AKA member. Full spin with a blind catch behind the head, right into a double spin. A little bit of a bobble on the catch. We'll see if the judges caught that one. One more release from behind the back, and that will do it for Sarah Campbell.
And her competitor coming to the stage is Haley Glass.
You might have heard of this next competitor coming to the stage now.
And I believe our final competitor of the division, Haley Glass, member of Team Paul Mitchell and a performer for Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, about to go back on tour with them. Widely considered to be the best female extreme martial artist in the world today. She's got the accolades to back it up. Looking to add another trophy to her case tonight. High-speed kama cuts and finger rolls, mixing in some releases. Nails the opening combo right into the tricking. Side swipe, cartwheel, full twist. And Haley Bulletproof Glass is blitzing through this form. This is as fast as I have ever seen her. A testament to the training and hard work that she's been putting in. Another behind the back release, and that will do it for Haley Glass. Another of dozens of great performances that we've seen from Haley Glass this season. And some respectful fist bumps all around.
And our first competitor up for scoring is going to be Cassidy Williams. Judges score 9.97, 9.97, 9.97, 9.97, 9.97, 9.97, and 9.97 for Cassidy Williams. And scores for Sarah Campbell. Judges score 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, and 9.98 for Sarah Campbell.
Looks like a unanimous decision for
And
Haley
our
Glass.
final competitor scores for Haley Glass. Judges score 9.99, 9.99, 9.99, 99, 99, 99, and 9.99 for Haley Glass, making her the winner of the Women's Overall Creative Musical and Extreme Weapons. Presenting the award is Yana Mies from G-Force Weapons.
This award presented by G-Force Weapons. Haley Glass gets that signature wooden trophy, as well as the championship ring.
Not a bad day.
Another dominant weekend in the
Let's
books
give it up
for
for
Haley
these
Glass.
ladies one more time. And now, Anna Glenn, we're coming your way for another interview.
I'm with Team Straight Up, also competing here in just a few moments. I know some of your teammates couldn't make it this weekend. What adjustments have you had to make?
I'm Tyson Ray, so I'm a new fighter team. I'm on Team Next Level. Just adjusting to a new team. We all have our personal fighting style, so just making an adjustment of which roles to play throughout the team has been one of our successes to get us here in the finals.
What's been a message that you've given yourself heading into this final fight tonight?
Everybody's just gotta go out there and do their job. And should be a pretty easy win after that.
Just gotta do what you gotta do and get it done.
This is my first NASCAR tournament, so coming in with these guys, I'm excited to come in and fight, see what I can do.
All right, I asked Team Paul Mitchell, so I have to do the same. See if you could do a little better. Give me your best dad joke.
Ooh, I really ain't got too many jokes. I heard Cam Dawson had a pretty funny joke earlier. I think you guys should ask him to say it again after the night show.
Okay. All right. Well, let's hope the fight is a little better than their jokes. We'll be back right after this.
Hey guys, Karate Jules here, and I'm so excited to be back at the Battle of Atlanta a few years ago. Not too long ago, I was on this very stage along with other NASCAR stages. I retired because my dream career in film took off. I've been blessed with opportunities to play on big movies and TV shows like Cobra Kai, Black Panther, Blue Beetle, Double Jenna Ortega on Beetlejuice, and just recently, I had my big screen debut on Bad Boys in theaters now. Now, I'm not just saying this to brag. I'm here to tell you that yes, your dreams are possible. Battle of Atlanta has such an awesome, fun community that surrounds you with the best people. It gives you the opportunity to learn, grow, try, fail, succeed, evolve. It makes you into these phenomenal athletes and insane performers. Action Workshop has been such a blessing. We've been so happy to come in every year and teach you guys what it takes to be a part of that stunt industry. As somebody that grew up on the circuit, I know that this requires a lot of time, money, and energy, traveling around the states from tournament to tournament. But parents, this is an investment in their future and in their dreams. Nobody was there to teach us where to start, what to do, or how to do it when we wanted to get into the film industry. So being able to create this streamline for our future generations is such a gift, and we are honored to do it. And we hope that they do the same for the future generations to come. Thank you again, Battle of Atlanta and Sport Karate, for giving us everything we've got.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that. Now, like I said in the video, I just want to drive home how important it is to give back. Those of you that are coming back time and time again, our judges, our officials, they were once competing and they make time to come back and give back to the future generations. I can only hope that we inspire our generations that are going to be the next superstars to do the same. 10 years down the road, they'll be on those big screen movie theaters, and you guys can come back to this event and reap that wisdom, that knowledge that they're gonna come and throw at the future generations. So remember, everybody, give back. And speaking of giving back, if you guys give me a little more energy, I have some more t-shirts to throw at you. Wait, hold on, only if I get the energy. And go! A strong arm. I know I'm little, but I got muscles. Woo! Give it up for our little hype team. Thank you guys so much for being this awesome energy for our performers. Now don't stop now. Please keep it up because we have more amazing competitors and performers coming to you right away. But they need the energy. It's getting late. Don't give up now. Clap, cheer. If you see something cool, let them know. If you see something in the video that you think is nice in the commercials, let them know. Those are your friends. Those are your colleagues. Let's do this. One more time, BOA. Let me hear it. All right. Have a good night.
keep that energy going as we move into the black belt women's Korean Forms Challenge round 2. Which I believe will be the final round.
You know, Jackson, as we get ready to find out what's coming up next, I know that Atlanta
We're
just
gonna have
recently signed
Caitlin
Kirk
Vong
Cousins, but did you see the
and
throw
Lily
by
McGuire
Juliana on the tee
going
shot?
through this Korean challenge? Let's have the competitors come to the stage.
I don't know if there's room with on the depth chart after they drafted Michael Penix.
Yeah, it's, you know what? Hey, they're gonna have a good quarterback challenge coming up this season.
But let's forget football because sport karate's better anyway.
Yes, it is.
And let's have a look at this women's Korean challenge. Caitlin Vong on your right, Lily McGuire on your left. We saw Lily McGuire in the women's traditional forms overall grand championship. She won the Korean Forms division today, the Korean Challenge, a different format, a head-to-head contest. The choreo of Caitlin Vong against the gay back of Lily McGuire.
Now, for these different Korean challenges, I've always wondered, because usually you have two different katas going on at the same time, right? Is there occasional chance that you might get those katas to come really close to colliding? I mean, I don't know if I'm thinking of it because I'm a sparring competitor and I think about bodies getting closer.
It is within the realm of possibility. However, the intention, if these athletes do get close together, is not for them to start sparring. However, that might be a great idea for a new division, Mallory.
Noted and suggested.
So far, we've seen high kicks flying left and right. Right on cue, there was one from Caitlin Vong, representing Team CBR. Of course, short for the great Christine Bannon Rodriguez. And some synchronized side kicks.
And it's a little bit different because you're used to having the stage to yourself. But now you have another competitor out there, and you really have to focus on what you're doing. Not what the other competitor's doing, just do yours better.
Lily McGuire finishes her form first, so an opportunity for Caitlin Vong to leave an exclamation point here. And in the head-to-head format, something interesting to consider about choreo is the fact that that last big, strong yell is away from the judges compared to Gaybeck, where it's coming towards the judges. So in a close contest, that last display of intensity, maybe that could be the difference. We'll have to wait and see. And all of the judges are motioning to our public address announcer, Reed Presley, that they just need to show the judges' hands for the winner first.
Old school way.
And now the judges just stand up and say that we're doing it.
Judges score!
And 3-2 in favor of Lily McGuire. Very closely contested decision there. And Lily McGuire is your Korean Challenge champion. I chuckle there because of the judges going rogue and saying, you know what?
We're doing it now.
We're scoring right now. I guess
and
at the end of the day, they do hold all the power.
Is Mr. Larry Carnahan, promoter of Diamond Nationals up in Minnesota.
Taking the stage is the president of NASKA, Larry Carnahan, as mentioned before, promoter of the Diamond Nationals to present the award.
And I should note that in a head-to-head competition like this, I do like that the judges went ahead and scored immediately following the two performances, because that's when they're fresh in your mind.
Exactly.
Right? If you're having to watch two performances at the same time and then watch another two performances at the same time for the men's and then come back and try to deliver scores, that could impact the results of the decision.
It very well may can, and we know how short some people's attention
And
spans
now,
are now
moving
when
into
things
the
are
final
5
round
and
of
10
the
seconds and
Korean
everything
Challenge.
else. Let's get it done.
We
right
have
now.
Jeff Doss versus William Smart.
Now coming to the stage, we have two gentlemen who have graced the stage for the Korean Challenge for much of the last year since Korean Challenge has become more and more popular, starting with the Battle of Atlanta. This will be Jeff Doss against William Smart. And Team LeClaire is chanting for Billy Smart from the crowd. Something I'm sure that the ever so intense Jeff Doss is not fond of whatsoever.
Although I can tell you right now, Jeff Doss is locked in.
Billy Smart sporting the midnight blue accents befitting a Tang Soo Do uniform. Jeff Doss on the right side of your screen in the aged black belt that appears more gray than black. Jeff Doss running his signature form, Ulji. Doss, of course, representing Team Revolution. And interesting here because it's not only a head-to-head matchup between Korean stylists, but Taekwondo and Jeff Doss versus the Tang Soo Do of Billy Smart.
Both Korean styles, but you know, I've seen Jeff Doss run this form before, and if there was ever one that he was a specialist at, this is it.
Nice side kick there from Billy Smart, and same thing on the other leg. Looks like a jump kick coming for Jeff Doss. Cleanly executed for Sushi.
You got to give it to the Leclerc team. They're hyping their guy up and everything. That could sway the judges a little bit too.
In some ways, it is the intensity of Jeff Doss versus the crowd reaction of Team Leclerc. And I do think intensity is a major factor in a head-to-head competition like this. But I'm not a judge, so. Now, Billy Smart getting a bit of an advantage here as his form is lasting a little bit longer, so he gets a chance to do a solo showcase of his talents for the judges. Jeff holding his final position with great intensity, exactly what you should do in this situation. And a strong key-up from Billy Smart to bring his form to a close.
But like you mentioned before, also that key-out going to the back of the stage, not facing the judges.
And we will immediately get a judge's decision by show of hands. 4-1 in favor of Jeff Sushi Doss.
Presenting the award once again is Mr. Larry Carnahan, President of NASCA and promoter of the Diamond Nationals.
So NASCA President Larry Carnahan coming out to present the award to Jeff Doss. Another great matchup between two highly skilled martial artists. Mallory Woods, this brings us into the home stretch.
And now we're moving into the NASCA
Some of the
Team
biggest events of the year.
Demonstration Division.
Team Demo coming up. Gonna fill that stage with competitors.
Coming to the stage is gonna be Team Edge.
Team Edge taking the stage.
Why don't you give a little rundown for our viewers on what they are about to see?
It's a great suggestion, Mallory. Team Demonstration is one of the most chaotic events in all of sport karate. You're going to see a wide variety of skills, forms, and weapons. Sometimes some self-defense, sometimes some board breaking. You never really know what you're going to get. A full team of athletes on stage working together. And this is really the standard demonstration format that a martial arts school would put together to help promote their business.
This is actually what has birthed some martial arts careers. You would see this at maybe at a mall, perhaps at some other demonstration, maybe a high school halftime show. So that opening pass, and now the athletes are going to start off breaking off, picking up weapons.
Tricking is usually going to be a huge part of team demonstration. Makes for great transitions between solo acts.
So first swords, now we got some chucks.
And most team demonstrations are at least going to cover the 4 major weapons: sword, nunchucks, bow, and kamas.
Quick tumbling pass.
In addition to those weapons sections, you're also going to see multiple repetitions of different hand combinations. And here comes the kamas. A little drop on the left side of the stage there.
However, there's no disqualification like you would have in a traditional event.
Will factor into the judges' scores, though. Oftentimes, team demonstration can come down to who drops less. A flawless routine is typically going to be scored higher than a routine with no drops, or than with drops, excuse me. Everybody on stage together, this may be the closing combination for Team Edge. Really good synchronization between all of their team members. And flexing on him at the end, Team Edge with a strong team demo performance.
Excellent job, excellent job.
And they'll take a moment to regroup, get all their weapons off the stage.
I guess that's one advantage of not any board breaking. You can clear the stage very quickly.
The next team coming to the stage is Team Leclerc.
The next two teams that you will see placed second and first respectively in the elimination round of the team demonstration competition, qualifying them for the nighttime finals. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Team Edge were the winners of the non-NASCA division, earning the opportunity to share the stage with these teams.
I see some boards.
I do think we're going to see some board breaking in this one, Mallory. We'll see if Team Leclerc still has energy after all their cheering for Billy Smart.
That's true. Got to save some for the trip home.
I'm sure they do. One of the things that makes Team Leclerc special, you will notice a team full of lady warriors, an all-female team showing off their girl power. Again, that opening hand combination, the entire team working together. And now we'll transition into some solos. Some assistance on the backflips there, into some flying side kicks. Some synchronized side kicks. And now we've got a duo. Flexing the Leclerc logo, and now we've got some kamas. Nice finger rolls into some releases. Caught them all. A nice little flying side kick punch to round kick action. Machine gun kick setting up the next transition. And now the signature weapon for Team Leclerc, the nunchucks.
And I'm digging the music selection here.
Multicolored nunchucks flying all over the stage. Now these are all wooden nunchucks, just with reflective tape on the outside. Synchronized double spin catches, all but one of them lands clean. and a gritty to the front of the stage. We'll have to let Justin Jefferson know if that was a good gritty or not.
Well, you know, I believe he's got enough money.
And there's some tornado kicks. Looks like 4 in a row, breaking boards on each one. I think I like the tornado kicks a bit more than the gritty. And a little bit more showmanship. Maybe some cheerleading inspiration on that transition. And then right back to the martial arts as this young warrior works the bow. I think that's maybe Piper Miller, if I'm not mistaken. If that's not Piper Miller, my bad, girl. I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, full twist to the front. A little bit more choreography, and we are getting to the closing moments of this Eclair demo. And a beach twist over another athlete. That was a nice touch. And one more strong Ki will do it. A very solid demo performance from Team Leclerc, and a little hair flip at the end. Once again, they will collect all of their boards and weapons and exit the stage, making way for our final contestants.
Is going to be Team Infinity.
So Team Infinity preps to take the stage. An absolute powerhouse in the team demo game. Multiple NASCA and ISKA World Championships under their belt, under the expert leadership of Mike Welch. A lot of homegrown talent on this team, hailing from the Infinity Schools, mostly located throughout the state of Wisconsin.
I like that. It's a true school team.
See Will Nevitt, one of the leaders of the team at center stage. Beautiful synchronization by Infinity to get things going. And that's one thing that this team is just so good at, is the formations that they put themselves in. It's a whole nother level of choreography. And Will Nevitt mixing in a little traditional karate into that hand combo, and then the extreme with the 540 kick to splits. Now working the kamas. Releases all around, all of them caught. Huge switch release, kamas flying all over the stage. Now mixing in the hand combinations with the kama cuts. And again, look at the way that they're moving around the stage, changing places, every athlete always in motion.
Got some different weapons coming up soon.
Now we're seeing some heavy Jeff Spridko and Mike Welch inspiration with the Eskrima. A little bit of a tumble there on the right side, but now we're into the Eskrima combo. Eskrima, or Kali sticks as some might know them. And now for the larger Kali sticks, the bow group. Couple of flick releases behind the back there, under the leg, behind the back. Double spin catches, and nicely done for the bow trio. A solo for Nolan Grunwald as he hits a triple. Double fulls to the front of the stage. Oh, Will Nevitt takes a tumble. Looks like he's okay though, he's staying with it. Right back on track with his hand combination, looking good. Some assistance on the gainers. Couple of full twist and beach twists to get these athletes out on the stage. Now another bow group coming out. More double spin catch releases. High level of difficulty there. .540 catch behind the back. Now bows flying all over the stage as they switch it up with the zero gravity. A signature move for Team Infinity. I really don't even know what to call that one, but I like it. They count down on the last hand combo.
And a back tuck by all.
And Team Infinity looking like one of the best demo teams there is. Well done for that squad.
Let's go ahead
so
and
across
have
the division,
all three
a few
teams
mishaps in every
back
single
on
one of these
stage for
demos.
scoring.
It'll all come down to how the judges interpret each of those and decide who comes out on top for their overall performance. Again, there are no disqualifications for drops, falls, anything of that nature.
Now here's a question. Is the stage big enough to hold all the teams?
We better hope so, Mallory. It is a lot of martial artists taking the stage.
It's going to be a lot of awesome martial artists on this stage.
And as these martial artists take the stage, what we have ahead for you guys as we approach the end of our broadcast here tonight, but you do not want to go away yet. The co-main and main event of the evening
Before
still
we go
awaiting.
into scoring, let's make some noise for all these amazing teams up here.
In the co-main event of the evening, a duel in the Men's CMX Weapons Grand Championship.
All right, let's go ahead and start with the scores for Team
Don't go
Edge.
anywhere. We've got
Judges
the scores from Reed
score.
Presley right now.
9.97, 9.97, 9.97, 9.97, 9.97, 9.97, and 9.97 for Team Edge.
First scores for
And
Team
for the
Edge
next
in the books.
team, we have Team Leclerc. Judges score 9.99, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, 9.98, and 9.98 for Team Leclerc.
Leclerc able to get one winning score
And
of
for the
9.99,
final
leaving
team
the
of the
rest for
division,
Infinity.
Team Infinity. Judges score 9.98, 9.99, 9.99, 9.99, 99, 99, and 9.99 for Team Infinity. Making the winner of the Team Demo Challenge at the Battle of Atlanta, Team Infinity. And presenting the award, you're gonna have Cameron Smith with Rise USA.
Cameron Smith from Rise USA presenting the award to our champions, Team
All right, let's try to get a great picture of you all.
Uh-oh,
It's gonna
now
be a
the
lot of them.
challenge
Gonna need the wide
to
shot,
get everybody
sir.
in for one picture.
Get closer, everybody squeeze in, or switch to a wide lens.
He's right out there, right in the middle.
That's
right
why
in
I'm
the
not a photographer. He's on his job.
He got it. Look at the mamarazzi out there. You see all of them? Very nice, very nice. Let's give it up for all the moms and parents out there. Let's make some noise for them. All right, thank you, thank you. You guys can all stand and exit the stage. Well done, teams. Well done, you all. And great job, Team Infinity.
And as we prepare for the last two events of the evening, let us know in the
All
chat,
right.
are you more excited
We're
for the
gonna be
men's
moving
weapons
into what I
or the
believe
team
is
fighting?
the
Two
final
thrillers ahead.
Weapons division of the evening. And it is going to be the men's overall grand championship black belt creative, musical, and extreme, where Benjamin Jones is going head to head with Esteban Tremblay.
Mallory, in this division, we could be up for an instant classic. Two of the best bow competitors in the world right now, going at one another. teammates for as long as I can remember. This is going to be fun.
Yes, indeed it is. You know, it's when you have a teammate and you guys are sharing the stage all the time for overalls, you got to push that envelope.
Ben, the Truth Jones, the first man on stage, looking to set the bar high. Ben Jones, a member of Team Paul Mitchell, but an instructor for Team Infinity. So our Team Demo champions may add to the cheering section for Ben Jones. Ben Jones won his first career overall grand championship here at the Battle of Atlanta. Can he claim another here tonight? One of the most creative athletes in the game. An extremely high level of difficulty, an innovator of multiple bow tricks. Mallory, my heart is beating faster right now than it used to when I would compete.
You know, it's sometimes harder to sit and watch the competition than actually to perform in it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Ben Jones off to the races, release right into the striking combination. Behind the head catch, right into the back fist. Big trick combo coming up. Let's see what he goes for. Down the arm. Behind the head catch. Crowd is losing it. Triple spin. Nails it. The energy intensifies here in Atlanta. Creative striking on display from Ben Jones. 2.5 spins. Catches it. Blind catch on the opposite side of the head. Another signature move of Ben's, continuing the movement of the bow as he catches it. The freeze frame, he sticks it, and Ben Jones, the truth will set you free, sets the bar high in the men's Extreme Weapons final. And the crowd is loving it.
Now that's quite an opening act. It's going to be, all the work is going to be cut out for Esteban to get to top this.
We've got members of the crowd already chanting for a 10.
Tremblay.
But this is as evenly matched as it gets. Now on stage. Gentlemen, an instant classic between these two teammates. Esteban Tremblay brings the house down after Ben Jones set the bar high. Mallory.
I don't want to be a judge in this game.
I am so glad that I am back here and not up there, my friend.
Competitors to the center of the mat. This one's going to be tough. Who do you guys have?
I think we need that to happen.
Let's make some noise for Benjamin Jones.
I'm sure this result will be heavily debated in the
some
comments.
noise for
Let us
Esteban
know who
Tremblay.
you want to win this title, who deserves it.
I don't know. Let's see what the judges have to say. Ben Jones up for scoring first. Judges, call.
This is nerve-wracking.
9.99, 9.99, 9.98, 9.99, 9.98, and 9.99, and 9.98.
That is four 9.99s for Ben Jones. But this is a division where you can't rule out a 10. We do not know the outcome just off of 4
Tremblay, judges score 9.98, 9.98, 9.99, 9.98, 9.99, 9.98, and 9.99 for Esteban Tremblay.
And we can tell from Esteban's reaction
of the NASCA Overall Grand Championship
as Reed is
Black Belt
announcing
Men's Creative Musical and Extreme Weapons, Benjamin Jones.
Ben the Truth Jones wins an absolute war with Esteban Tremblay and takes home the title this evening. That was a fantastic men's weapons final, and it deserved to be a 4-3 split. That's how good these guys are. If one of them's got to win, it deserves
one
to
last
be
time. That
a
was
split
amazing.
decision like that.
They may not be able to sit from the stage, but earning a standing ovation for you.
And now we're about to switch over to an interview, but before I send it to Anna Glenn, we are about to go into the final division of the night, which is going to be team fighting. So if I see you guys exiting the room right now, you need to turn around and come right on back in. Anna Glenn, let's do that interview.
Thanks, Reed. Lily is our Korean Forms winner. Lily, take me through your journey from the start of the weekend to this moment right now.
Yes, ma'am. So y'all are gonna have to work with me because I'm losing my voice. But I'm about an hour and a half away from here, so I taught classes Thursday night, and then I drove myself up here to get well rested for Friday. And then I started Friday with my Korean challenge, which in my personal opinion is my favorite division. Then I finished up my CVX divisions and got rested for Saturday's traditional stuff, and which led me to here for the night show.
I know you don't live far from here, so why is this tournament so special to you?
Yes, so Battle of Atlanta is actually the tournament that wanted to make me start the NASCA circuit. I think back in 2019 was my first NASCA tournament here. And I stayed for the night show, and I was like, Mom, I want to do the NASCA circuit. And so this tournament is always my favorite, and there's people from the local circuit that I compete with. They're here today too, and it really warms my heart to see them out here cheering me on stage. So,
Lily, who's helped you get here?
Master Juan, he owns our Columbus studio back in Columbus, Georgia, and he's worked with me one-on-one. I'm very grateful for the time he spent with me. And I'd also say Zach Willits. He's a very highly trained instructor, and I did private lessons with him all the time, every Sunday, and he'd tell me that I sucked and to do it again, and it got me better and got to where I was here today, so I'm very grateful.
Well, it worked tonight. Big congratulations to you, Lily. Our final fight right after this. You don't want to miss it.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! Yeah, I was building on a lecture. Verses coming daily under pressure. Working on the plot and the scheme. The true style trademark is at the edge of your dreams. I'm talking one shot for the kill. The breeze come freeze up, straight dropping the chills. I'm talking. It's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
All right, are you guys ready for the final sparring event of the night? All right, I hope you guys are as excited as I am, and we've already heard a little bit of the trash talk during those interviews earlier. So who do you guys have? Team Paul Mitchell or Team Straight Up? Let's make some noise for Team Paul Mitchell. Let's make some noise for Team Straight Up. Team Paul Mitchell. Team Straight Up. All right, let's go ahead and get this going. Team Straight Up, let's hit the stage.
The time for talk is over.
And Team Paul Mitchell, let's hit the stage.
Earlier in the
Once
broadcast.
again, this is the final event of the evening, so any energy you have left over, let's send it right on to these fighters as they perform for you guys one more time.
As I was saying earlier in the broadcast, Cameron Ali, when asked for a dad joke, said straight up winning is a good dad joke. Ooh. And then in a later interview, Brandon Ballou responded that he'd like to see Cameron Ali repeat that joke after the finals, insinuating that Straight Up was not going to lose this fight. Excellent witty trash talk between the two, and you gotta love it. This is one of the most storied rivalries in the history of the sport. Paul Mitchell versus Straight Up. This is as good as it gets.
And if you notice that Cameron Dawson has taken that competitive spot saying, I want to go first. Now, I don't know if he's made that decision with the coaches. No. Oh, no, I think he's calling for Brandon first.
Oh, he specifically is asking for Brandon Ballou on the line.
I think so.
Joe Greenhall, please give it to us. Because ultimately it's going to be Joe Greenhall's decision who he sends out there against Cam.
I'm telling you right now, Brandon is game. He's game for, if that's going to be it, he'll step up to the line and do it.
Based on the fighters' pacing, there's definitely gamesmanship in the way the fighters pace here to try to hide which coach might be leaning towards sending a fighter out first. It was unclear to me who won the coin toss, so I'm not sure which coach has to send out first. It looks like Damon Gilbert has to send out first, and he sends out Alex Mancias, who is always game for the occasion, and he is up against a newcomer to the adult division in Diego Gomez.
The coin toss, of course, is something that's official, but who sends out first and who matches is also very important.
Mancias on the attack early and scores. Mancias on the attack again. Paul Mitchell out to an early 2-0 lead. Mancias wanting to pressure this young point fighter. Reverse punch from Mancias. Does not get the call. Gomez scores on the offensive. Gomez now taking the center of the ring. Mancias shows a kick, takes off. Gomez scores on the reverse punch.
Gomez is quite calm for a guy that's new to the stage.
Gomez weathers the early storm for Mancias. He's now got a 3-2 lead. Both fighters slowing the pace a little bit, throwing some fakes. Gomez takes off, scores, 4-2 straight up.
You know, at this certain point, you have to decide whether it's worth it to go in and try to get the points back or not give up a bigger lead.
Explosive blitz from Mancias, narrows the margin to 1, and Mancias ties it with that one.
I think we know Alex's choice.
Jump spinning back kick, Mancias. Center referee calls block. No points on the exchange.
Oh, and a side
Mancias
kick,
takes off, scores. Good block on the defensive side kick from Mancias. Mancias getting a little fancy and scores with his hands. Mancias back in control, 5-4. Side kick, Mancias blocked by Gomez.
Body punch by
Center referee calls for a quick judges meeting for a ruling on that last exchange. No calls. 6-5 in favor of Paul Mitchell. Mancias takes off, but it's the defensive reverse punch of Gomez that scores. Gomez takes off. Nothing there. Fighters reset.
Alex is ready for a blitz. Oh, but it's Gomez who goes first.
Good step in by Gomez to take off on that blitz.
7-6, straight up takes the lead.
Spin.
Straight up back in control, 7-6. Mancias had bad intentions on that hook kick, and he ties it with the punches.
Hey, we're going to open it up, and we're going to knot it up at 7. It's going to still be 0-0, essentially, as we go into our second fighters. Brandon Ballou steps to the center. Let's look to see who's going to join him. Is Cameron Dawson going to walk out, or is it going to be D-Stacks?
An exciting opening round ends with the score knotted at 7. Coach Damon Gilbert taking his time to make a decision here. Wonder if that was some gamesmanship.
You know, for my money, I think you do have to keep Cameron Ali at the back, you know, at running anchor. No matter how bad he wants to go out there and face Brandon Ballou.
So it is Darren X to face Brandon Ballou. These two have fought many times in the middleweight division. Kick attempt by Ballou blocked.
Ridge hand.
Ridge hand blocked. That ridge hand from Ballou is nasty. Darren X also has a lead hand ridge hand that's nasty.
And
there's a rear
follow-on
hand.
ridge hand.
Beautiful execution on that ridge hand for Brandon Ballou.
You know, it's always funny because ridge hands get quite a pop from the crowd every time, and also a pop when you get hit with one.
In a fight like this, momentum is everything.
But one thing about momentum, it's not loyal.
Ballou trying to check and scoop the leg of Darren X when he throws those kicks out there.
Body punch exchange. No
clash. Suggesting both
another body
fighters
punch
hit at the same
exchange.
time. Yep, same thing. Darren X takes off and scores.
Hook kick to the body.
They don't call the hook kick. The side kick from Ballou was kind of scooped out of the way. He tried to save it with a hook kick. Judges don't call anything on the exchange. Knotted at 8. Ballou takes off and gets the call.
Looks like a low, inadvertent low shot. Not recommended by any doctor or pediatrician to take one of those.
It's unfortunate when you see that happen. Changes the pace of the fight. Brandon Ballou will be given some time to recover. There was a call for a back fist in the back corner for Darren X, but no other judges called it. Darren X takes off. Wise of Darren X after that exchange, although unfortunate, to use his speed and take off and take advantage.
You're quite right. You're not exactly ready for anything after a shot like that.
Fade away back fist, Baloo. Sounds like the crowd is behind straight up. 10-9 straight up leads. Kick from Darren X. The center referee says it connected, but it's the hands of Baloo that scores. Darren X still looking for a momentum swinging kick. Axe kick did not connect.
Point awarded for going down to the ground, and it looks like we're going to end with
Tyson Ray and Cameron Ali.
But straight up carrying a 1-point lead in round 3.
So Brandon Baloo going to the ground there is ruled essentially the same as if you went out of bounds. It's another way of avoiding contact. Can sometimes be a bit of a judgment call, but in that case, Paul Mitchell gets 1 penalty point their way. Here we go in the final round. Cameron Ali, Tyson Ray. Cameron Ali takes off. No score on the exchange. Ali looking very light on his feet.
But also, so is Tyson Ray. He's moving and grooving with the best of them.
Absolutely. Heavyweight versus a lightweight. Ali tries to go top shelf with the kick, doesn't connect. Defensive side kick from Ali does not connect. Ali on the attack. Ray tries the defensive side kick. An exit called on Tyson Ray for avoiding Cameron Ali. We are not at 11.
Did the punch get in there with side kick?
Fast takeoff from Cameron Ali to get the lead for Paul Mitchell.
And a step-in back fist from Tyson Ray, bringing that back to even.
Very well done there from Tyson. Calm, cool, and collected.
Fade back fist. Did it score? No.
No score on that exchange. I thought somebody was going to score there.
And a blitz by Ray gets the point up. 30, just about 30 seconds to go. Oh, gets hung up on a head kick.
Massive head kick from Cameron Ali on Tyson Ray.
And followed by a
back fist.
Tyson's got to dig deep for this one.
Ray looking for a kick of his own. Good defense from Ali with the front hand. Ali getting his leg back in the action.
And a hook kick that is a little south of the belt.
Switch round kick for Tyson Ray, connects low on Cameron Ali.
And a point, the hardest way you can earn a point in this match was just given.
For the groin kick, a penalty point goes to Paul Mitchell. 16-13, Paul Mitchell leads. Ali continues to work the leg. Ray looking for an answer with 5 seconds remaining.
But he's got to score 1 point. Can he get 1 point?
Cameron Ali sticks the side kick in.
Wait. Let's see what there was a call before that clash.
There was a lot of chaos at the end of the match. And Darren X takes the mic from Reed Presley after a clutch performance from Cameron Ali, including a highlight reel head kick, gives Team Paul Mitchell the victory. Respect going both ways between these two teams. A little bit of a strange posturing on the stage there after the outcome.
Well, what Cameron was waiting for was Tyson to bow out to him. That's what he was waiting for, and they cleaned it up. Tyson bowed to Cam. Everybody, dapped each other up. There's congratulations all around. But a 1-point victory from John Paul Mitchell to win the men's 18+ team competition.
An absolute thriller in the main event as Cameron Ali with a highlight reel head kick gets the win for Team Paul Mitchell. This fight absolutely lived up to the billing and the trash talk. And now we hand it
Team
off to
Paul
our
Mitchell,
public
it's
address
report
announcer,
from Middle
Reed
to
Presley,
receive your award.
to send us home.
Once again, this is from Laura Folk from Fighters Inc.
After a quick photo op for
Camera
the trophy.
straight ahead.
Hey, while we have the opportunity, I'm going to go wish every father a happy Father's Day tomorrow. Send a special shout out to my dad, just recovering from hip surgery. Thank you, Dad.
Big shout out to my dad as well, a director of this event here at the Battle of Atlanta. Him and Ronnie Presley, so thankful for what they do for this sport. And again, happy Father's Day to
Paul
all
Mitchell,
the dads out
before
there.
you guys leave the stage, Anna Glenn is back to interview you guys one more time.
All right, everybody, let's give it up for Team Paul Mitchell one last time. All right, guys, can you talk to me a little bit about your loyalty to this team?
I mean, it means everything. To get on this team isn't easy. It takes a lot of sacrifice from more than just myself. My mom's right here in the front row. Ma, shout out to you. I wouldn't be where I'm at today. You sacrificed everything for me. Thank you. But being on this team is a lot. It's family, and it's in our DNA. So I'll let the guys continue to say something.
There's nothing much to say. Grandmaster Kevin Thompson, he's the man, and we do this all for him.
Hey, we just want to say on behalf of all the fathers, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. First and foremost, I can tell you, I wish people knew the history of the Battle of Atlanta like us old guys do. But in 1990, my dad brought me to this tournament as a brown belt, and my church sold barbecue dinners so that I can get here and see what a real big tournament looked like. Little did my dad know I would win the overall grand, not light and heavyweight, but the overall grand 3 years in a row. Much respect to my dad. This tournament means a lot to people like me because it inspired me. Hopefully we inspired you. Much respect to all the fathers. Gerald Dawson, Tommy Gilbert, Kevin Thompson, all the ones that are no longer here. Happy Father's Day. You don't gotta hate us. If you really get to know us, we're really a cool team.
Congratulations on a great fight and a much-deserved win, you guys.
Brandon.
I love the energy they bring.
I know. I was waiting for them to bring that up again. So
I had a blast with them all night tonight.
Absolutely. So Anna Glenn, now you've seen even more martial arts. You've taken up kickboxing now. So what was your favorite thing that you saw all night?
I have to say the final fight, super back and forth all the way to the final round. Team Paul Mitchell pulled away, but lots of energy in the room. I had a great time.
Absolutely. I would have to second that. And so that concludes the Battle of Atlanta Battle Zone. Thank you everyone for coming out tonight. You guys made it absolutely electric. Thank you to the entire Ruth family, specifically Greg Ruth for being the promoter of this event. Thank you to the lighting, the sound, the camera, the production, Jackson Rudolph, Mallory Woods, Anna Glenn,
Reed Presley,
and Juliana Ramos. We really appreciate you all. We will see you next year. And once again, happy Father's Day. Thank you all and have a great night.